So yeah, I guess we would probably want to do that before we dive in then, rather than in the middle of a session. So if you guys want to do that, I'm down.
Sure.
Quick reminder. Well, if you guys have the Savage Worlds book, it's page 54. That's the Adventure Edition. And advancement includes let's character do one of the following, and no trait can be raised above the D12. So you can either gain a new edge, increase a skill that is equal to or greater than its linked attribute by 1 dice. You can increase 2 skills that are lower than their linked attribute by a dice. You can increase an attribute by a dice type, or you can permanently remove a minor hindrance or reduce a major hindrance to minor if it's possible. So yes, those are all the options. Increase stuff by a die, gain an edge. And of course, the power edges include getting a new power. If you spin for that edge, you actually get 2 new powers. That is for Father Carter. And get more
I am
power points if you
nuts.
need.
Yeah, you get 5 more, and
There's also 2 though, like the rapid recharge, recover 10 power points per hour. That's pretty nice. I like Power Surge, recover 10 power points when dealt a Joker in combat, which is incredibly rare, but cool if you get it.
yeah, it's very situational.
Right, right. Anyway, yeah, you guys are welcome to peruse. All of the, like, as far as, so page 54 has the advancement details and rank and stuff. And then if you scroll past that, you have the hindrances, then traits, and then it gives a summary on all of the edges, page by page through category. There's leadership, there's professional, social, weird. Let's see.
I think I'm going to increase for this one um, because I have a gun now that I can uh, use smite on the bullets.
Hmm.
Um, Probably shooting and investigation, and bump them
Ah,
up a die type each.
okay. And those are both lower than the linked attribute?
Yeah, the linked attribute's 8 for shooting, and my smarts is I think also 8. Yeah, smarts is also 8, so I can pop them up to 8.
So if it is equal to or greater than the
It's not.
linked attribute, you get just 1 skill.
No, again, like I said, it's not equal to it. My smarts is 8. My dice in those skills are 6s. So they're lower than the linked attribute.
Okay, I misheard you then. You should be good to go then.
Yeah. So shooting is a 6. My agility is an 8. Smarts is an 8. My investigation is also a 6.
Cool.
So I'm
And
just
yeah,
taking them up to match.
yeah, those can both go up to 8 then.
All right. I never expected to be super great at it, but now I'm just a little bit better than I was because I've had to look and investigate things and do stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
My answer
Well,
to
that
most
means
problems is the
without
same as Batman.
any modifiers, like having something at a D8 means you can on the dice get the success and the raise with just the
Hmm.
dice roll. So that is a nice milestone to reach.
Yeah, Spirit's the one that's at a D12.
That makes perfect sense too.
Yeah.
And what is the Marshal thinking about for advancement?
I'm looking at edges.
Ooh.
Actually, I might do. No, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Investigation's fine. I can do another one on another one. I haven't really decided to mess with my stats too horribly much.
I mean, if you don't need to, like,
I
I
don't know if
feel
I
like
need
your main
to.
focus is spirit and spells.
Yeah,
So, with
that
that
already
being
got maxed
considered,
out,
right.
and my spellcasting trait's also maxed out, so I'm not looking to improve that further. All right, then I'm finished.
Excellent. All set to go. Waylon Carter. Now heroic.
Oh, heroic too.
Have you looked at your class to see, did you already cover what you get at the heroic level for just your class?
I'm not aware that there's any perk to making it to heroic class. It's all like you buy a perk and do a thing. I didn't read anything when I was reading about blessed characters that if there's something in there about it, I am unaware that that exists. Is it going to be in the like the Deadland type thing?
I feel like it would be in the Savage Worlds. I'm not 100% either, but it does give the distinction. I know at the legendary level, you're able to take legendary edges, and it might just be a prerequisite thing as far as what is available. But not a lot of things have a progression prerequisite besides the legendary, if any at all.
All
Okay,
right,
yeah,
so
there
do
it
I
is.
look in
So
the Deadlands player
requirements
guide?
would be, you would want to look in the Savage Worlds book
Okay.
and then look at the requirements. So the first letter that it shows is going to be the prerequisite. So V for veteran, H for heroic, etc. So I think that's the only thing that would be a bonus.
Savage World Advanced Edition
Adventure
Core,
edition. Yeah.
Adventure Edition. Okay. Is there a page number for it I'm looking at?
I would skip to page 59.
Did this not recognize fucking text? Come on, that's gotta be. Powers, I guess, is what I'm looking for. No, that's 147.
Edge summaries, page 59.
I gotta. There's bookmarks, and now I gotta figure out what's. So it's under traits, which is under concept, which is under characters. Okay. Page 11? How the. God
No.
damn it. It
I'm
doesn't.
not
Every time
seeing
I've
in
tried
my
to type in a
PDF what
page
you're talking
number,
about.
every time I try to type in a page number, it's like no, and so I have to go to where the bookmarks are on the PDF and find it that way.
Oh, that sounds annoying. Um, can you scroll pages,
I can scroll the bookmarks, and so I'm just trying to figure out what would be a thing.
but not
So
the pages
skills,
themselves?
is it technically, or there's edges. That's page 37 for background edges. Is the edge you're looking at on page 59? Is that the thing?
That's where the summaries are. So,
Because I'm
let's
looking at
see.
edges for background edges on page 37. Apparently that's where they start.
Um, yeah, that's way further back than you want to be. Because you can just skip to the summaries
Leadership.
to get the quick list.
power. These are all
Let's
broken down
see.
into categories, like professional edges, social edges, weird
Yeah,
edges,
which it
legendary
will do in
edges.
the summaries too. But yeah, scroll to the end of that whole section, and then you will get to advancement, and then just past advancement, there'll be a couple pages, hindrance and trait summaries, and then you'll get to
Yeah, I'm on
edges.
54 now.
Only 5 pages away. I can
Not
only
hindrance
imagine that
summaries.
scrolling through bookmarks must be incredibly annoying.
Well, it'd be helpful if there was a page number associated with the bookmark, but there's not. All right, so here's the edge summaries you must be talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, 59. So what edge what am I supposed to be looking for here?
So essentially what you would be looking for is the letter H at the very beginning of the requirements column. That means that becoming heroic means that that's available to you because that's the prerequisite rank. There aren't a ton that I'm seeing where
Yeah, I
heroic
really
is the
don't.
prerequisite.
I don't see like rapid recharge or anything like that that you were talking about where you got to get back PowerPoints.
Oh, that's under power edges. That's page 62.
Oh. Even these have these, okay. Power edges. Oh, that's cool. Improved rapid recharge. That's only seasoned and veteran. That's cool. I see the legendary stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they conveniently separated that out. That is helpful. Well, those are specifically available to Legend. There's just maybe 1 or 2 that are outside of that category, like the improved
I honestly
rapid
haven't.
recharge, for example.
Improved rapid recharge was only, where was it? Fast professional ages. Was just veteran.
Yeah, so veteran and having the previous rapid
Original,
recharge.
like the same thing I did when I did Filthy Rich or Rich and
Yeah,
Filthy Rich.
yeah. So yeah, it looks like they did separate out the legendary. Cool.
But I
Neato.
haven't seen a single heroic one.
I saw one for sure. It was the improved first strike.
I just found improved first strike.
I think that might be the only one. So I guess being heroic is just a bridge between other stuff. You're awesome, but wait until you're a legend to really get better.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, so that means both of you would then meet the basic prerequisite, at least for rank, for everything. And then if you need another edge like improved rapid fire, you have to have regular, like the filthy rich, like you were saying. But
Mhm.
besides that, yeah, as far as I can tell, the only one that has heroic is improved first strike. That's kind of silly. Let me look at.
It just means you get to use that first strike feature on up to 3 people.
Let me see. So I'm looking at the new edges, which are in the Deadlands book. And I'm just scrolling through. Oh, there's a heroic one. Improved Fan the Hammer.
I got
Let's
one for
see.
you, buddy.
And once I get there,
They added just one, so now there's two heroic special
In
ones.
the entire system, there are now 2.
Oh boy.
Feel special.
There are a few legendary ones too. And it's worth checking out though, the ones that are specific to Deadlands.
Well, the one I'm looking at, I think, would be pretty easy to do, and it doesn't have any other prerequisite aside from legendary. And let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have to improve my my vigor soon,
Ooh, yes.
because I want to go and get toughest nails and then tougher than nails.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I would
And I
put
got the D8 on it right now.
oh, okay, so you just want to get to that D12.
Yep.
Well, that's only
Which will increase my
2 rank
toughness
ups.
rather significantly.
And if you're now at the second rank of heroic, that means you're at 13. So 14 and 15 will give you. So for your next 2 level ups, you would have to increase your vigor, or you could
You can
wait.
only, well, no, you can only increase vigor once per section. I didn't increase any of my attributes in veteran.
Touche. Yeah.
I did increase my agility from D6 to D8 in seasoned.
Okay, so then
I
yeah,
just,
you would have to do one in
yeah,
this tier, and then when you get
one
to
in legendary.
legendary, which is a
And
prerequisite anyway, so that works.
so
I
I got to
pick
do the
one
next
each
one.
level.
Yeah, because when I increase my,
Usually it's the last one I do.
yep, that's what I thought would happen. When I increase my D8 to a D10 in vigor, my toughness will go up to 8, and when I increase to D12, it'll go up to 9.
Well, that's ridiculous.
And I know the same thing would happen with agility for pace and parry.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily want him to get great at everything, but I just figured this was a guy who, trying to put him down should be fucking hard.
I can confirm that. Guys
And then with
are
tougher
pretty
than
tough.
nails and tougher than nails, it would no longer be, oh, you took 3 wounds, you're now incapacitated. It would be like, oh no, you need to take 5. Well then.
Yeah, which is way powerful. It's like increasing your AC in D&D by 1 point. Like it
AC and
just
hit
means
points is
so
just,
much.
yeah, you don't think it means a lot at one point, and later you're like, that's the reason I'm alive.
It does. Yeah, armor class, as far as in my experience, I think is the single most, at least in D&D, the single most impactful increase that you can get. Like doing more damage, whoop-de shit. Like
The tough feat,
increasing your armor class by just 1 point. The tough feat is awesome because of all the extra hit points you get. But
yeah, making you a meat sack and then figuring out a way to raise your AC, because AC is damage mitigation,
mm,
and hit points is simply soaking.
mm,
So if you can combine those two to damage mitigate and then soak when it doesn't work, because that's what hit points are there for when AC fails.
right.
And it starts to really fall off on return on investment when you finally get into the very end levels of the game, effectively 17 and higher. Not that it's not worthwhile, but if you can't pump it up into the 20s by then, you're probably going to get hit all the time.
Oh yeah. There are ways.
Oh yeah, there absolutely are ways. I have mapped out what I want the robot to do and what I want the Minotaur to do.
Nice.
And oddly enough, the glow up, I think is the best way to describe it for the Theros character, was insane. When we went through and fixed all over to 2024, I'm like, I thought he was impressive beforehand. I am terrified of my Minotaur now.
Yeah. Yeah, 24 definitely raised the bar on everything. I don't want to talk about Spirit Guardians right now, though. So, Goose, you've chosen Tactician.
Yep. was looking through the edges I did have, and I was like, well, command. One that I don't get to use very often, but
I will.
it has a associated. It's the requirement for other stuff, and it reminded me that I wanted to be a tactician at some point.
Good. I think I make a fantastic
Tacticians
support
get
character.
an extra action card each round of combat. Kept separate from their own cards. Start of the round, may discard it or give it to any one allied extra in range. So that's an extra one that you keep on the side and can give to someone else, as opposed to the extra one you get for yourself. Like, so you get two extras, one for you and one for a friend that you can give at any time.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
May discard it or.
So basically, me and someone else.
You get a new one each turn, so you have to decide to discard it or give it to a friend each turn.
Yeah.
Because each turn you would get that bonus one. That's awesome.
Each turn, me and someone else has advantage on their card pool.
Yeah. That's
And because it doesn't come up
dangerous.
very often, and I haven't command that I got a while back, everyone within range gets +1 to their spirit roll when attempting to recover being shaken.
For
Is the
troops
likelihood
in
of
command.
keeping me shaken would be nearly impossible.
Would you consider yourself, Father Carter, a troop in command? On the surface, I wouldn't. I would consider you guys equals and kind of outside of being like a quote unquote troop or mook, as it were. Let me scroll up. Let me actually read the detailed description. Because we can just work on an ally. That would be much better.
Give me one small second. I'm going to pop over and grab something from the guy next door. I let him borrow a kennel because they rescued a lost dog. And I need to go pick up the kennel. They're back.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. 5 minutes. I should be back very shortly. So, and just, it was a really odd thing. I happened to go out to take trash out one night and noticed that they were playing D&D in the garage, and I walked up wearing a, member, they were playing D&D in the garage, and I walked up wearing a Critical Hitters t-shirt with a D20 skull mask on the front of it. And so I'm like, that's like, hey, one of you guys left your lights on out there, and they're like, oh my God, your shirt. And like, I look down, oh yeah, no, are you playing D&D? Not that I know anything about it, but
one of us, Gooble Gobble, Gooble Gobble.
yeah. So it's been fun. All right, I'll be right back.
Cool. So it does refer to extras in command range. The flavor text says support allies. And it says extras, but you guys aren't extras, you're heroes. And then the presence increases your range. Okie dokie.
The wording in this game can be weird sometimes with how it has the titles that change from example to example.
Yeah.
Oh, did you open that back up, or did I just not close it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll let you read.
Are you referring to like your character sheet or something? Because I don't have that open.
Okay, no, I just closed the description on command because I was updating.
Oh, gotcha. So I
was putting
looking
a
in the book
clarification in it. I was putting a clarification in it on what command range was because I never put it down. I just happened to see it while I was copying and pasting tactician in.
Right.
And it closed and then immediately opened back up. So I was just like, oh, if you're reading, go ahead.
And did you peruse the Deadlands book for Edges, or did you
Not
just
this
know
time.
that Command was where you wanted to go?
Uh, I did, but not this time around.
Okay, cool.
I couldn't remember any edges in here that I was trying to remember,
Gotcha.
but I'll take a look through it, see if I want to pop out.
Yeah, something might call out to you. When you're heroic, you can get improved Fan the Hammer.
Yeah, makes it a -2 instead of a -4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's been on the list for a while. I think I got quick draw last level up. Or it might have been level-headed. I don't know. I haven't kept this list in order. I got agent for almost free. No, it was territorial ranger. Separate.
Yeah, the Rangers are a different thing.
All right, I'm back. Thanks.
Welcome
Welcome.
back.
Okay.
Cool. Well then, with that being done, let me slide us over.
One of these days, I might pick up Harrowed.
What
uh,
Harrowed? Oh, I like the new Aztec Village picture. That's pretty cool.
Harrowed is some gunslingers are just too tough to lie down and stay dead after they've been
May
killed.
only be selected at character creation.
Yeah. But the example later on, or by taking the damned edge at legendary rank,
Yeah.
it's almost the same effect.
To become Harrowed later requires shedding the mortal coil and a whole lot of luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're essentially just a zombie.
Zombie or ghost or yeah.
You know, you remind me of there is a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen have the guy that Africa won't let die.
Oh yeah, Alan Quartermain.
Yeah, Quartermain. He did something in one of the and I can't pronounce how they refer to their deities over there. Um, the Voodoo faith, for the most part, in Haiti worships the same gods,
Okay.
and um, God, I just can't remember the name, and I don't want to say it and mispronounce it. So, anyways, they're the African deity. One of them just took a liking to Quartermain and just said, "Nope, you're here forever."
Yeah, I like that because at the end of the movie they bury him there, and then yeah, there's like some
You,
ground rumbling or something.
yeah, like Africa's like, "Nope, nope,
Yeah,
you've had a long enough nap.
just
You enjoy
adjusted.
your hour of rest."
I really like
Thanks
that
for coming over
movie.
for
I
tea.
loved that Sean Connery was doing something. I'm really bummed that the movie bombed because like Sean Connery had turned down like The Matrix and stuff because he didn't understand it, and like Lord of the Rings and stuff, and then finally he's like, okay, I'll do this one. I don't understand it either, but the other ones made lots of money and were important, and so I'll do this one. And then it didn't do well, which I'm very sad for. I'm a fan of Sean Connery, even though like I don't
Yeah, he's kind of a
respect
dick in
his
public.
philosophy of romantic dispute. Give him a schmack. Anyway, I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny to me to say it in the voice. Asterisk disclaimer: we here do not condone any kind of spousal abuse on either side, any kind of domestic violence. Being said, sometimes kittens in the microwave can be funny if you tell it in the right way. Comedy is. Anyway, asterisk
Dark
disclaimer.
comedy is dark
We do
comedy.
not condone putting small pets in the microwave. I should stop. All right, so I believe that where we had begun was over yonder.
Oh yeah.
I got a little bit lag. I've noticed it takes like a couple seconds to load up images like more clear.
Yeah, we went in
I'm
and
good
then
now.
beat up the first two,
See.
who were they were real mouthy, real mouthy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like, we're gonna fuck you up and do things. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Basically, we just walked in and were like, fuck that day up. Fuck that day up.
And as we started moving through the area, it was just like, all right, you're smited. You still got enough bullets? Yeah, okay, we're good.
Oh yeah.
I was literally
yeah.
made to hunt vampires.
Holy bullets.
Oh indeed,
Fucking
yeah. Those
mint.
holy bullets helped because yeah, if you were using just mundane strikes, they have a resistance to it or an immunity. I don't recall which. I'd have to double check. But yeah,
It was
you guys just bypass that, and we're doing full damage, which makes them far less of a threat than they are for normal heroes. So that was definitely a good call on Father Carter's part. Like before you guys even went in, you're like blessing weapons,
Yep.
getting that
And
smite action
not
ready.
picking around here. No, 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 no.
Right.
back-to-back Joker pools made a couple of those
Mm,
rooms even
Yes,
more moot, doing over
yeah,
60
and we
damage,
got the drop on most everybody.
despite
it really
firing
did.
guns the entire time.
Well, yeah. Of course, you did go to like different levels and stuff, so it helps that like the echoes, like they all kind of knew you were coming ish, but wouldn't necessarily know that you were in the room next door because it was like a level down or whatever.
Yeah, they heard
Oh,
fighting.
yeah.
They just assumed maybe the gunfire stopped because their friends killed us.
I mean, if I were a
I'm pretty
vampire in
sure
that cavern, that's what I would assume. I'd be like, haha, stupid mortals invading our territory. Free meals.
yeah, they'll bring us an arm or something with drain the blood, and
Yeah.
don't bring me something with a bullet in it. That we had that problem last century, or
Mhm.
no one like that.
I want to confirm again. You took the hat from the No Hat Twin, or Has Hat Twin, rather, I believe.
Yeah, I ended up taking. I have two hats now. I have one from the tall hat from the stripper, and I'm
Yes,
just grossly simplifying that,
of course, yeah.
and because hers was like the Lincoln kind of tall
Oh,
hat,
yeah, yeah.
and
A
the other
nice
one
top
was
hat.
very much like a nicer fedora style classical Western hat, so to speak. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
that guy's, which looks far more like Carter's style.
Oh, yeah. And your original hat was put onto a young
The boy we
man,
saved from vampirism, and
indeed.
incidentally, the town.
So, yeah, had he made it back without you doing that, he would have transformed into full vampire and caused all kinds of fun and chaos, which I was looking forward to, but you guys are smarter than the average bear, so good job and going out of your way. I was like, oh, they're not going to check on him. They're just going to be like, give him some
Your
water, let
job
him
is
go
to
on.
provide us challenges, and our job is to make you cry about your choices.
Yep. And I took the hat from I think Darkbeard.
I think so.
There's no hat and no face, and then more dead and dark beard. Dark
Yeah, I
beard.
think you got dark. Yeah, you
Yeah, he's
got
got a
Yeah,
pretty
Darkbeard's
sweet
hat.
hat.
I got Darkbeard's hat. And then later on, I think there was no hat twin.
Yes,
I bust out his fangs and
Oh, and I
put it in the rim of the
him.
hat.
Yeah,
he
no
had
hat
his
and
clothes
hat had
removed.
nice coats.
Yeah, they
We
did,
took the
both of
clothes.
them.
Yeah, we took their clothes, and then I busted out his teeth and put the fangs into the ribbon around the hat. It's
Which
gonna
is
go on the
super
wall.
cool. A little bit morbid, but also very cool.
Trophies.
And then,
Yeah,
We ran into.
we straight up bath-mouthed this man as we murdered him.
yeah,
Yeah, he was all like, "I'm a badass," and I come from the Egyptians, and we're like,
oh,
whatever.
He definitely
murder
came
hobo.
from the Mayans. The
No,
Egyptian
I know
plug
he
was
came from the
the.
Mayans. He's like
Okay.
the Egyptians made him. Is my point.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the guy that kind of spilled the beans on it after we had talked to the brother.
The brother
Or do I have
was
that backwards?
spoken
The brother
of
spilled the
after the
beans.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. But yeah, he was braggadocious. He was the first one you saw that had the Mayan appearance, as opposed to the other ones who were clearly modern. I use that in air quotes, more contemporary,
Effectively,
if you will. Yeah.
contemporary is a great word.
Yeah. Within last 5 years.
And of course, his corpse burns eternally.
Yeah,
Just
his
because
corpse burns eternally.
I'm not gonna remove the.
I took
You
his.
should let that burn eternally, and then anyone who comes into that room when there's no fucking oxygen because it's still burning eternally starts choking because there's no air.
Yep. And I took his vestments before we set him on fire.
Yep, you did.
Indeed.
Because you wanted to be able to show the Aztec people, like, hey, you remember this dick?
And then, in a chamber beyond.
Yeah, if we were playing White Wolf, I would have said this guy had made it to Golconda, which is that angelic state of balanced humanity that vampires can attain in that one. But that's a White Wolf game system.
That's cool. I'm completely unfamiliar with that. I like that idea.
Yeah, and that you could hit a certain state where you've balanced the beast and your humanity and have achieved peace. And
Vampire enlightenment.
yeah, vampire enlightenment. And at that point, you can walk in the day. The sun no longer harms you. There's a whole lot of things that go along with it. Like you lose every bad trait. You manage to disprove God as to like, this is supposed to be a punishment. I'm like, no, I got it. We're good.
So
And
in
God
that
looks in you and goes like,
system, do they
okay.
have Cain as the original vampire then?
Oh, they absolutely do.
Nice. I always like that.
Technically,
As
before Cain, the first original vampire is Lilith, and there becomes a cult and everything that argues the existence of the first vampire.
Mm. Is
Okay.
that from the Masquerade, or am I just getting things
Yeah,
mixed up in
yeah,
my head?
no, you're
Okay.
not.
I
White
was like,
Wolf,
that
the
sounds like
people
the
who did that.
same as. Okay. I wasn't aware of White Wolf being the publisher for Masquerade. My bad.
Yeah, no, they did White Wolf, or sorry, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Mage the Ascension,
Yeah.
Changeling the Dreaming. I want to say something the Oblivion that was for the ghosts, and then Hunter the Reckoning for human hunters to do the thing.
Oh, okay. And those are all like in the same world, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Facets of the same world.
Cool. Yeah, I only dove into the Masquerade stuff because I was going to be starting a campaign, but then we lost a person, and yeah, I was pretty excited. I learned a whole bunch about a town in England and its background because it's where I was going to have you guys start and operate from. So I like watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I did like a virtual tour of the town. Like I got super into it and now have useless knowledge. Like I guess I could make my way around there if I ever visited, but that's unlikely.
That's fair.
I've never got to play a Vampire the Masquerade, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah, I
I played
have.
it for years, and it was unfortunately not the tabletop. So we had the LARP rules, and so it was me and just a ton of friends because it was a worldwide organization called the Camarilla that did LARP for it. And so I played the LARP version of the game for ages. I want to say close to a decade.
Oh wow.
Mhm. That's a long campaign.
A long time of
Yeah,
LARPing.
because they had groups in just about every damn city, and then there was once a year they would have an international convention, and people would come from all over the world, and we would play this game. And the storytellers worked in group concert across the globe to make sure that the story you were telling in Ireland could feasibly you could take a character from your Irish game, follow the rules of the organization, and input it as though it had traveled. And the things you did in that
Nice.
other game in America mattered there as much as they did back home.
Ripples and stuff. I feel like a convention of masquerade LARPers, and again, this is like a preconceived notion of perhaps the people involved, and I don't mean it as an insult. I feel like that's like the LARPing is a side perk of meeting for an international orgy. Like
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I wanted to tread softly there because I'm not trying to imply that they're all like promiscuous or, sinful
Look, I'm just going to flat out
hedonists.
tell you, you're not wrong.
Like if I were to go to a Vampire the Masquerade thing, like which I totally would, like it would be a fun convention to go to, but I would fully expect to like meet some, you know, BT goth or five, I don't know. Anyway, just a pack of dudes and chicks like, hey, let's all get together and stop wearing clothes. Anyway, I digress. We should stop. So yes, you met the brother guy. I was very impressed with the efforts of Carter to retain his soul instead of just because Marshall Rankins was ready to answer or fulfill his request with a bullet, and Father Carter was like, whoa, wait, let me try something, and
I mean,
actually were able to have his soul ascend.
did you ever read the book altogether?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I was all down with that plan, but I'm like, let me try this first, and that your plan B. If this doesn't work, I'm okay with what option B is. Completely on board.
Well, and to be fair, so was he. Like he wanted to be released, mortal shackles. I think the ascension was a surprise. I think he probably expected some kind of going to hell as far as his interpretation may have gone, but y'all definitely avoided that result. He showed true and sincere remorse and was not affiliated with the ambitions of his brethren. Also, I like that his skin matches the other picture there. Like, green's my favorite color. Anyway, I just thought that was cool too.
Yep.
Did you happen to keep anything from him? Because his full body would have been able to be. He had a sweet anklet and stuff. I don't know if you guys earrings.
You know what? I would have taken that if that was a thing that I could have done.
Oh,
I know
absolutely.
I didn't think. I absolutely didn't think of it in the moment, but if that's a thing I could do, then yeah, I don't expect them necessarily have like, oh, stats go up by 5% or something like that. But I think I would want to know that because for him, these objects imply that there's a chance he could redeem his wife the same way.
That I
He didn't have
hadn't
the
even thought
opportunity.
of. Wow, that is a lot of.
He literally just laid
He
a
set a
complete
precedent there.
yes, because he's like, I'm now powerful enough, and he feels happy and horrible at the same time because he also knows then that at the time that he had to put his sons down, he couldn't save their souls.
And well, I mean, what are the chances that you would have met somebody who could? Like, I would encourage you, if I were a townsfolk friend that took your confession or shared that story over a drink, I would encourage you to not take that personal. Like, you did the best you could and what was available in the circumstance. You should not have any remorse other than recognizing, like, okay, maybe in a roundabout way they could have been saved, but the chances of that are so unlikely.
And
But
he
also,
wouldn't have
too, like,
known how to do it at the time.
exactly, yeah.
This was very much like, hey, let me experiment with an idea I've been toying with.
But two, it can inspire not just for your wife's sake, but like anybody who happens to be plagued with it. And it could be not necessarily vampirism, it could be the harrowed thing or the damned.
Yeah. And so the notion of um, I saved the boy outside of this entire event.
Hmm.
I saved his soul, but he was already much farther gone than the boy. And so I'm thinking like it might be possible for me to save my wife's soul.
Yeah. Even if
Maybe.
like if her mortal form can't be saved, you can at least ensure that she doesn't get taken by the scary black inky ghost shapes that take evil people upon their death. Because you've now seen both versions of it,
Yep.
live and in lack of living color.
And
And
he
again,
also the interesting thing is if you read a lot of scripture and stuff from written in the language that was written in back then, like I don't want to say like just because you read the King James Bible you're going to get this. No, I'm very much referring to texts from the time, the oldest you can find.
mm,
um,
so Greek,
when
Coptic
angels,
Greek, I think.
yeah, all the way back to Enochian texts. um,
Well, I guess it depends on the faith because we don't have any original Hebrew writings from like the Old Testament, as far as I know. I think the oldest that we've been able to
the Dead Sea
acquire is Greek.
Scrolls.
Yeah, which were I'm pretty sure written in Greek, were they not? It's just something silly to quibble about, but it doesn't change
So
your point.
my point is that angels use a changed appearance when they want to, if they show up to humans to try to make it easy for them to understand. When they want to share and say like, "Hey, God said do this," and it's not a debate, it's a commandment. They're assigning someone to become a messiah, something like that. They show up and they look like rings of fire with like multiple eyes and 6 wings and other shit like that. They don't. They look so otherworldly. There's nothing about them that looks human because that's their true shape, or that's the cosmically what the closest thing is to your mortal mind can perceive their true shape to be. Um, he hasn't necessarily um, seen an angel in its true shape because Raziel's the only one who's appeared to him when he said like, "You're going to hunt vampires," and he still can't describe Raziel completely any one way, shape, or form. Just looked like a blazing light of a holy flame, as far as he can remember. So that's why he believes that there are real things out there that go bump in the night.
Oh yeah. Wasn't there like a vision of an angel that was like sounded
Aramaic.
like
Yep.
a UFO? Like it was described as being
Oh yeah. If
very
you
different from.
Indiku, if you read the texts that refer to the Babylonian stuff in Indiku and some of that pantheon,
Oh yeah, yeah.
um, they refer to it's very much people that came out of the sky and they rode discs. So the concept of a UFO is clearly not
Mm.
new.
Oh yeah. There's some people. I don't think it's the Anasazi, but some like Middle American tribe referred to the sky people in their origin stories too. I just think it's all fascinating. I'm not saying everything was aliens. I'm not that guy. I'm just really fascinated by creation myths.
Yep.
Of course, they'd all be very different if they had telescopes and microscopes. We're not here to talk about that though. So upon exiting, you
I
guys
think
had
we got out of the
planned.
place because we climbed up that little archway through the back and it just basically camped out for the night.
Yep, able to get out, get to a safe place, rejoin with your horses because they didn't want to step foot on these grounds. Now you know
Nope.
why. They'll be less trepidatious now, but there's still a taint that remains. Take some time for
Yeah,
that
we're
to clear.
taking the slightly long way about so we can let the Aztec people know, like, hey, stuff's coming. I don't know when, but stuff's coming.
Yeah, so that
So if you got
is.
supernatural defenses, put them up.
So it is. If you're heading kind of straight there from where you're at, I believe was going to be like a couple days travel there, and then from there back to town, it was going to be a few days, if I remember
Yep.
correctly.
And I don't plan on staying super long at that town. I intend to like, hey, let's deliver a message and make sure they're aware of what's going on.
Okay.
And let like if the spirit people there who can maybe, I don't know, if they do psychometry to read effects of objects or truth seen or whatever. So that if they need to run some tests or spells to get an idea about what we're talking about, or they have legends, I'll be happy to kibitz with them and kind of try to make sure I can share that knowledge.
Sure.
But I'm not looking for like, hey, we stopped by, let's throw a feast. I'm like, no, 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 I got to get back. There's stuff we got. They're super busy. I just don't want you guys to get caught unaware by a supernatural threat after just saving your asses.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice courtesy you're offering. Well, if there is anything you hope to accomplish in your travel toward the village, you do have another night or two that you'll be camping before arriving the outskirts there. Please do let me know. It will otherwise be uneventful. You will not be harassed by sexy vampire ladies or by coyotes or giant jackalope spirit things that rise up from the ground. None of that.
Maybe get some small game to eat for dinner some night. We don't have to live off hardtack.
Yeah, because frankly, I mean, we got the wagon and stuff out there, but I know I got stuff in the back of it, like sandwiches and various other hardtack stuff out in the wagon. We could eat it if we need to, but
Yeah, so Agnito would have taken the wagon back, but he would have made sure that you guys had provisions to grab before leaving.
oh, did he come out here with us and then he had to go back? Was that the deal?
Indeed,
Yeah,
yeah. He
escorted the boy back.
parted at the
Got it.
Sexy Vampire Ladies.
Because we yeah, okay, he was part of Sexy Vampire Lady time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's right. Trying to find
I feel better about memory loss when I'm playing an old character.
the hunting page that I had for you guys to play Oregon Trail hunting. Looks like I don't have. I will need to create another one. Can you, Marshall, roll me a d8, please?
Have what?
A d8.
Just a D8.
Yep.
I think it's a random generator table
Ooh.
type thing.
Yeah, and I don't have a table. I'm just going by animals that you've encountered in the region.
Love it.
So if you are interested in shooting them for food and hides, the only thing they're going to run across is a pack of armadillos.
They're basically land crabs.
And you're welcome to roll another d8 for how many you're able to take down, if you like.
Over one.
Ooh, quite
Good
a group.
job.
Well, a couple of them are going to be more youthful than the others, but yeah. You're able to slaughter an innocent armadillo family. Good. Congratulations.
Double tap the mom. You never know, she's got one inside her.
Damn, sir. Damn.
Scoop them out, make them into a stew, serve it back on the bowl that came in.
Jesus. So yeah, you can
He
take
had
food.
nothing to
Also,
do with it, I
too,
swear.
if you want to make boots or something, you have some armadillo shells and skins. That's up to you. You could even just save those hides for bartering or something.
I might give them to the seamstress lady. Maybe she can make some cool stuff out of armadillo things.
Yeah. No.
She could, or we could just give them to the Aztecs.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We just like, hey, we have some shells. Maybe you guys can do some stuff with that. We're not looking for trade. We're just like, hey, here's some gifts. Oh, by the way, Egyptian vampires, that's a thing.
Yeah.
By the
I like
way,
they did giving it to the Aztecs better.
Yeah, I like that plan.
so
Now, the main reason I'm bringing the suits back is so I can get some nice clothes made for Wyatt.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's an ongoing project, of course. Taking care of the kid now that he was reorphaned again. Well, it will be your second night of camping out in the hours of the morning when you wake. I assume you guys are greeting the sun, taking off as it rises.
We're sleeping in shifts. Like, I'll take the first watch, he'll take the second one. I'll wake him up and I'll go to sleep.
Okay, cool. So then you will be met. You'll see in the distance a figure. They are on a horse. Their silhouette is distant, but they are directly in the direction that you are heading.
Are they coming at us, or just kind of we've managed to catch up enough that we can see them, kind of thing? Like maybe they passed us in the night.
Going to require, can I please have you roll your investigation? And both of you are welcome to do that.
Alrighty.
See what kind of details you can pick. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, what's
your
the Pocahontas gift?
Your gift game, sir, is just on point tonight.
How?
Oh my god. I am so not. I'm sorry.
Gosh,
please excuse me from this conversation.
So the dust storm that kicks up is really messing with you. That's going to sting for a while. You're going to have like blurry vision for the next day.
Rolling investigation?
Yes, please, sir.
Please don't mimic me. Wow! What the fuck, man?
You have no idea. You see the silhouette of it's clearly a man on a horse, but you can't tell the direction he's facing. You didn't see any tracks on your way, so you don't think that you're like catching up on somebody who, for example, went from the underground temple you were at slash tomb. I don't know what to call that yet. I like tomb though. To where
Seems
you
fine.
currently are. You don't know if they're coming for you, if they're avoiding you. You simply see their silhouette in the distance.
Yeah, I just flat out refreshed my entire page because that was frightening.
Do the big old wave on the horse. Keep going. If we hear gunshots, we know they were after us.
That's fair.
The silhouette does a dramatic wave back that you can see the shape of. And then you can see, after the distant greeting, they're coming toward you.
Have rifle out sitting on lap.
Yeah. I'm gonna act like the marshal with the rifle in the lap, but reality is I'm pulling dust out of my fucking eye. Look, if they get close enough, I can make out a tawdry shadow, and you say shoot, I'll do it, but don't expect miracles right now.
As they're approaching, you can see some native garb and accoutrements. If you like, you can roll your investigation again now that they're closer. Father Carter,
Right.
you're going to have a -2 because of the dust in your eyes. It's still blurry
Sure thing,
vision.
no problem. But I'd like to see if I can shake that whatever the fuck roll that was.
Right?
Trait modifiers -2.
Conveniently, you can just hit the reroll button in the chatty thing.
Oh no, I flat out refreshed everything. What
Okay.
the absolute F? Well, it's not ones.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, the marshal definitely is seeing better because he was able to avoid the dust cloud. Uh, you have seen this man before. He is a member of the Apache and used to be a member of Dakota's gang.
which one?
Yes, which one? I will allow you a moment to ponder. I don't know how much you guys remember of your journey south.
And
Just
Shout
there
out.
about
was one guy
everybody
who
had been slaughtered. Go ahead, sir.
there was one guy who like it wasn't actually Dakota to put us to sleep, it was one of the Indians that did it for him.
Yeah, but he's the one who like fucking one-on-one fought Dakota before I could recover and
I
died.
think he got died,
Can
so
confirm.
wasn't your ex-girlfriend still alive technically?
Yeah, she never came into the Gold Canyon.
And then we never saw her when we got out. She was already long gone. So it's like, fuck it, I'm out. Peace.
I was
Yep.
hoping you forgot about her because I was saving that as a prize, but it's definitely a muscled male form, not a slight curvaceous form.
Wait, is it the kid that should have died? Because I really thought they murdered him.
You recognize Kai, nicknamed Swifthawk, who had wandered into the territory of the Mayans. They were keeping him captive, awaiting punishment for his trespass.
Oh,
I
so
guessed right. Weird.
they didn't call him on. Gotcha.
Wait, is this the kid?
Well, I wouldn't call him a kid. He's a grown ass man, but he is that person.
Is he like in his 30s or 20s?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so this the kid that wandered into the camp and then
Yeah, it appears to be so.
in Athmaskin I turn and look at him and like, I'm glad you're not dead. Nice to see you're living.
He rears up his horse and turns and faces, puts his hands up over his eyes. I thought I recognized you, he will respond in his native tongue that you just greeted him with. You guys can both speak that, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So both of you being familiar with the tongue, communicate comfortably. He says, it is you. You survived the trip. What was the fate of Dakota and my brethren?
I
Well,
think his ex-girlfriend's is still alive, but isn't everyone else dead? He's looking at the marshal like, right?
yeah, Dancing Feather, I believe, is still alive. Not very many of everyone else. We kind of got ambushed by the Confederacies, and they took out quite a few of us. And
There's a
then
lot of
he
dead.
had, and then he had the balls to come and join us, saying he cut down on the stakes that everyone else is gonna get.
Hmm.
Let's just say he didn't pass the interview.
Was it Agnito who just like shot him on sight?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
nope, I
just
don't have
like
time for your
ripped
bullshit,
into him, just
sir.
like,
Yep, and then he hit the button before I could.
Yeah, so he was cut down. Brian, you still need to watch that movie.
oh, the one where they go looking for the gold.
Yeah.
Surprisingly
Yeah,
good movie.
no, I just haven't seen it. He does mention to him like the boy, the Tinker boy who was working on stuff. He lives. He's back in town. I think it's about it.
Ah, yes. Well, it is fortuitous that the young one survived. Of course, he's innocent of what he got wrapped up in. Sad to
I
hear that
adopted him.
my brethren perished, but we all choose our fates, and well, I've had time to reflect, and I understand that we likely have angered the spirits and dishonored our ancestors by even having joined up with Dakota, regardless of the promised compensation or anything.
Wow, you are a very different individual from the last time we met.
Yeah. Sorry about the family members, but glad you came to your senses.
Yes, well, the people who I now live with, at first they were very strict, but we were able to see common ground, and then you can say they helped to reawaken me. I think I was asleep, as were my brethren, eyes clouded in joining the gang. I've been freed from that and live among them. I haven't forsaken my original tribe, but it was a compromise due to the unintended trespass and allowed me to keep my life. So now I scout the outskirts to ensure that trespassers don't make their way in.
Well,
I spotted your campfire, the smoke trail,
oh yeah, we
and
weren't trying to hide.
I was simply waiting for your approach. I am glad that it is you, not other people looking for gold or anything else.
No, we were looking to go to the village. We have a little bit of a warning for something coming on the horizon.
Well, that sounds ominous.
Yep.
Please save your words. I believe the warrior chief, the priest, would like to hear that directly. If you like, you can follow me. I will accompany you to the village and take the lead so as to ease suspicion, trepidation of our arrival.
Sure.
He nods, clicks
Oh,
his tongue at his
Uh,
horse.
before you start moving on, don't suppose you're interested in some coffee? I could brew something up. We got just a few.
I am well satiated, thank you.
All right. Well, just thought I'd offer.
Yeah. Before you go, I'm gonna hold out my hand to him for a
So,
handshake.
for the second time he tries to wheel his horse, you hear kind of an exasperated sigh. Yes.
I hold out my hand for a handshake.
Ah, yes. It has been a while. Let us do greet as friends and forget any past arrangements or perceived transgressions. And he's not going to take your hand, he's going to clasp your forearm.
That works. It might have took you a while, but I think Prairie Dog would be proud.
Hopefully, his spirit rests well, the rest of our ancestors. Well, let us go then. From here, we should
I
be able
pack
to
up
reach the
the.
village before the sun reaches the top of the sky and begins to turn.
Okay. I pack up the wagon. It's a little quicker than I would have moved normally.
You don't pack up the wagon because Agnito took the wagon back to Hadleyburg
Oh, I
just
keep saying,
himself.
God damn it! Damn it!
We just got bedrolls and food in the bag.
I keep forgetting that.
It's okay. You may reminisce about how nice it would be to have the wagon, but alas, you don't.
I think I might need water. I'm getting a little dehydrated, seeing shit on the horizon.
Not seeing shit on the horizon.
How do you
Yep.
feel about armadillo jerky?
Oh, that is not.
I mean, I have no complaints. Like, did we enter the Stargate? What the fuck is this?
I thought we were going to the village, not the pyramid.
Pay no attention to glimpses of your future provided by the mirage of the desert.
I saw some shit. I really did. It was weird.
Yeah, that
the
flicker
portal.
was God giving you a little bit of like the reverse deja vu. You've seen potential future of yourself, but
This is Bouja Day. The feeling I've never experienced this before.
It's the premonition you're gonna have a deja vu. It's an even weirder experience.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for that to come full circle. So pardon that God switched to the wrong page. So Kai is going to be leading you into town, and you will, before you get there, you'll see, of course, the pyramid itself, distant. More immediately, the village which you've visited prior will look familiar. You'll see some curious faces that you recognize. You didn't have an opportunity to meet everyone directly and get to know the inhabitants here, but they look familiar.
No, I was worried I was going to fuck something up, honestly.
No, I don't think everyone here spoke Athabascan either. So
No, I had to
we had
use
a
tongue
hard
to
time
communicate with most everybody.
hard time communication.
Yeah. So you will have that epiphany that, yes, you were not able to communicate with them directly last time without divine aid.
All right, kicking it up.
That being
We take
said,
off some PowerPoints.
Kai is going to be dismounting, leading his horse. He encourages you to do the same, taking the last steps forward into the village square.
All right, 23. Put that there. Let me give you a roll. And is my casting going to also be at a -2?
Nope.
Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay.
And you had intended to bestow this upon your companion as well? Or just
If the
yourself?
raise will let me do that with for additional targets, power may affect more than one target for one. I'll spend the PowerPoint to make sure that the marshal has it.
Okay, cool.
Let me take off one extra PowerPoint.
Yeah, so with
Because
the
I still have
raise,
time
you're able to talk very naturally. It's not, like a cold
disjointed or
tourist version. Like it says there, you can understand and use slang, and so you talk naturally with them as if a native yourself.
okay.
Kai will approach, and he will gesture, and he will stand aside to allow you to greet Akin, the warrior chief. You recognize the high priest, Zilbalba, behind him.
I greet the warrior chief. I greet Zabalba.
They give
Zibalba.
you a simple nod. Akin will gesture and say, "Ah, you have returned to our village. I'm afraid we don't have a feast prepared, but certainly
No
we
time.
could."
We dealt with some creatures of darkness in a tomb not too far over that way. And here are some of the relics. They apparently had become corrupted by creatures of darkness that came from across the sea and ocean called Egyptians, who built pyramids very similar to what you constructed over there, and he gestures to the pyramid in the distance.
The high priest steps forward and holds up his hand and says, "Place those items on the ground before you." And he
Sure.
looks over and says to the chief, "Do not touch them. They may be carrying the curse."
That's not how it works. We put them all down. They're all dead. Permanently dead.
He is looking on and waiting for you to place the items together
Oh, I did.
on the ground. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I'll put down the vestments and the just the vestments.
You
I
have
was even able
stumbled
to save the
upon
soul.
a great tragedy that fell upon our people. There's a bit of shame involved, as many were tempted by promises of power from foreigners who were similar to us, held similar values,
Yes,
but
the
we
Egyptians.
found that they were not necessarily forthcoming in what those powers would do. They were transformative in ways
Yep,
that could benefit, but also in ways that, well,
because you
some
didn't
of
eat
ours
blood.
became monsters.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're talking about. I've had to kill others like them. I'm literally trained to do that very thing.
If one has been awakened,
No, they're all dead.
that bodes well,
Permanently dead.
not well for the others.
Oh, well, we were dealing with
Very thorough.
the loudmouth one there at the end, the one that wore these vestments.
Yeah, those vestments came from the one who was still very excited to worship the Dark Ones. These vestments came from the one who had finally made peace and knew that what he did was wrong, and I was able to send his soul to the afterlife so that it can be reincarnated or whatever the heavenly powers decide to do with it. So the ones that corrupted your people are coming back.
Those who were entombed in this land were the weakest of the monsters created. They fled when the others were hunted and entombed. But that which put them all to sleep and protected us, if that is no longer with us, then the threat remains to all of our people and to lands
Yes,
beyond these.
yes. Now I'm a little more terrified about what you just said, but the people who made your people into these creatures are coming back.
He was quite adamant in it. Gonna come and take your pyramid and use that fancy doorway you got.
This is the reason we showed up in your village today, to warn you that whatever this happened is going to happen again and to start setting defenses as best you can.
Will you please grant us a moment to speak?
Sure.
Kai whispers to the marshal, "I have never seen them that terrified before. Did you see their faces?"
Oh, son, you had to be there. It was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, these were creatures that survived on blood and life essence of things. And I don't mean like a girl who can control a man. I mean like animals that feed on you, your flesh, your blood. And that's how they stay stronger forever. As
Yeah.
long as they have blood and flesh, they can survive forever.
Yeah, look at this. And I show him the fangs and the teeth. Like, that's just from one of them. That mouthful of all these razor sharp pinpricks. Claws like that of a mountain lion or a bear.
Yeah, imagine having a bear strength and the speed of a mountain lion or a wolf, or even a horse, and now it's coming to eat you.
But all packed into the smarts and body of a man. And 4 surprisingly attractive women.
He raises an eyebrow at the last bit, says, well, my people have legends of such terrors, but, well,
They're
they
not
haven't been
legends. They're real.
seen for hundreds of years.
The
Usually they're
white
just
man
used
has
to keep children kind of scared to behave.
yeah.
Well-
The white men have legends too.
Yeah, we call them vampires.
Or if you want to be fancy about it, Nosferatus.
Oh, you read. That's great.
Yeah, someone had the book on the trail. I got bored.
So
That's fair.
condescending. Can you read? Trailer Park Boys, they're these like uppity missionary types. uh, they are talking to Bubbles and they're like, can you read? And he's like, well, that depends. Can you go fuck yourself? The delivery is so perfect. Anyway, if you haven't seen Trailer Park Boys, do so. It's great. Ooh, vampire lady.
Yeah. 4 surprisingly attractive vampire ladies.
Trust me, it was a good stint. It would work on most guys. We even work on a few of the girls.
I mean, it was close to working on me.
It was.
Yeah.
Then they smiled. And the teeth. It just
The teeth.
hey, you don't want the teeth anywhere near your member.
The chief and the priest return. They say,
Oh,
this is
they're back.
troubling, not just for our people, but your own.
Oh yeah.
If not tamed, this can become a plague that takes all nations.
If I can catch it fast enough, I can cure about maybe 2 people max in a day. But I did purge one kid who had been infected and managed to get the early stage of the disease out of him. I have that kind of power from my god.
Our own gods did not grant us this power. We believed we were tested and perhaps punished for even considering those dark gifts. We had hoped that you would be willing not only to pursue the existing threat here, but perhaps go further to face the threat directly from whence it came back in our homelands.
Sure. We gotta stop by our town and let them know that we're not dead. So I can't do it like this very second, but maybe in a day or so?
What, head down into Mexico?
We're not familiar with this Mexico you speak of.
Noctiglan?
Ah, with the great Gulf, the Gulf of America. I'm going to hell.
Yep.
Actually, even further south, there
Oh.
is a great, great river that passes through a jungle.
Your guys are from the Amazon?
No, he's
We are
talking
not
about the Panama.
familiar with this Amazon you speak of.
Yeah, they deliver packages really quick.
Ah, very handy.
Good to stab you.
Here's a message from hell. Say, well, we couldn't send you right away anyway. In order to be able to facilitate your passage, we would need to enter the pyramid which you had awoken. We are without
It's
some
possible the
artifacts that
awakening
have
of the
been left. We've been unable to track down many artifacts that our people had in the village here prior to its awakening. And also, in
artifact
order
you're looking for.
to enter the means of passage, each who goes must possess a special jade coin. And we've been unable to track those down either.
Out of character, I know we picked up some shit from various places. Did we get jade coins? Brian can't remember.
Yes, so he is referring to both the artifacts that you guys found when this was a maze before the village came up, and
Mm,
you did not give back any of those artifacts. You took them back to town.
yep.
The jade coins to which he refers, there was a pouch full of them found at the Canyon del Oro.
Do I have that on me? When Canyon del Oro was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's actually back at town at the church.
Yes, all of those things, because you guys had just taken what you needed to go out and investigate strange goings on in the desert. And Agneto took the wagon back, but I doubt you would have packed the artifacts because you didn't have a reason to.
Nope.
But
Yeah. You talking about these round circular stone disc, a crown, a skull made of some kind of see-through shiny rock?
you know of the artifacts? Have you seen them?
Yeah, they're back at town.
Yeah, the unscrupulous caravan we were unwittingly a part of whenever we first freed you from the pyramid had possession of them upon.
We didn't know what they were. Sorry, but we'll be
Yeah.
happy to go get them and bring them back.
But with most of them being deceased.
We
Wasn't
would
happy to get them back
greatly
to you.
appreciate those artifacts being returned to us.
Yeah, it just takes us about 2 days to get to town, and then 2 days to get back to you. Maybe spend a day there to pack everything up. So 5 days from now.
That is acceptable to us. We encourage haste, and also be a long trip. You'll likely be gone for a time. Certainly, you'll be able to find resources to sustain yourself eventually, but we recommend packing for a long time away from home, whatever that might mean to you, what amenities you might need.
Okay. Well, we
Look,
have to also make sure that the people at our town can be prepared for the eventuality of what's coming.
Of course, you must seek to protect those close to you, but I assure you, uh, by venturing forth, you'll be able to protect all of our nations. And he gives a slight nod over at Kai, all the
is
peoples of
this
this
one of
land.
those? Is this one of those destroy the root, destroy the tree kind of thing? Kill the first
Yeah,
one, all the other ones die.
The high
I
priest
hope so.
says, "Ah, you have a great wisdom that has been not taught by our elders. That is impressive."
Our kind has its own legends about these creatures too.
Yeah, they call them Feratus from Romania.
We are not familiar with this Romania you speak of.
A country far across the sea,
But
a great
the
ocean.
same and different sea than the ones the pyramid builders came from.
Yeah, it came from one culture across the sea. We're referring to a whole nother group of them in a different culture across the sea. The threat of these creatures is kind of an all over the world thing. Different cultures have experienced them in different ways, and all have their own terms for these creatures of darkness.
Well, it sounds like you are well educated and certainly capable. We do want to warn you that those who you will have faced here, we can't stress enough that they were the weakest of their kind. The threats that you face will likely become greater and greater the longer you hunt them.
Okay, this is literally the reason I became a member of the cloth or a priest.
Very well. Kai can accompany you to the village outskirts, and of course, we encourage haste and thank you in advance for returning our artifacts and joining the cause
No
of
problem.
facing this threat for all of our peoples.
Now he points down at the pile from the one vampire who clearly had that Golconda moment, obviously, and says like, "I'm taking that bracelet." Just so we
By the
can be
time
very
you
clear.
return, you are glad to take any of these items, but I would like to perform a cleansing ritual
I have no
prior
objection to
to
this.
anybody being tainted.
Um, just so you understand my stake in the game, my wife was taken by these creatures.
Well, we are very sorry. Many of us have lost close ones.
Because I
You
was
have our
able to take
sympathies.
the one who wore these had made peace with their beast nature and was able to ascend when I released their soul through a ritual. The other one we had to put down, and he burned in a pit of fire. Um,
Did he happen to convey how he came to that? We
oh yes,
have
he made it
never
very
seen one
clear.
restored.
It was hundreds of years of coming to terms with what he is and what he had done wrong, and genuine remorse.
It was a overwhelming willpower that took a long time to finally win out.
Ah, well, such a method, it doesn't sound like will likely be available. Uh, where you travel to will be quite distant, both in the way of the land and of the seasons.
That's fine.
But
I'm
please,
hoping. I have hope with this bracelet. It'll remind me of what I succeeded in doing, and maybe I can save my wife's soul. I can't save her body or her life.
well, we wish you the best of luck in all of those future endeavors. Perhaps by eliminating this threat, the curse is fully lifted. It may be easier to restore her.
I
Perhaps
hope
not
so.
just her soul, but perhaps her mortal form as well. This, of
Oh,
course,
she will
is
have a whole lot to go through if she
speculative.
does that.
Yeah, about that.
She ended up she ended up turning our two boys, and we had to put them down.
They
So I
offer
think
no words, but just a heavy sigh
just
and
a,
shaking of their heads.
I think she would hope to just have her soul saved. I don't think she would want to continue living knowing what she did.
Well, that is a river to cross when you reach it. It
Yep.
doesn't flow here yet.
So I look forward to that bracelet when you finish with your ritual. We should get going. Like you said, haste is an issue.
Of course, thank you for visiting here.
Oh,
Uh,
we have some armadillo stuff. You guys might be able to make use of them. Um, let me get them out of the pack here. And he hands over the carcasses of the armadillos. Like, yeah, they can make bowls or decorative. I'm not sure, but it's just a gift we found.
we can, of course, find use for these. We thank you. This goes
Figured she'd
well
bring
to
something.
forgiving the acquisition of the artifacts.
Yeah, we didn't know, and once we knew, we'll absolutely bring them back. But you guys weren't even awakened yet when we took them, so we had no idea what we were doing.
And like I said, the caravan we were unwittingly a part of was a little unscrupulous. They
That's
seen shiny thing, they take shiny thing.
As our new companion Kai might be able to tell you, our gods do not forgive based on ignorance.
you know what? I think my god and your god might know each other.
You think they have dinner parties?
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, we'll see you in a few days.
They both give you nods of the head. Hakeem stamps his spear a couple times on the steps. Kai takes the lead.
And we head out.
He will only be going as far as roughly the distance that you were from the village, but you guys take a different fork as you are heading directly to Hadleyburg instead of back out into the desert. So he will
Yep, we
take
wave at
you
Kai.
north a bit, He will say, "Here's where we will part. May your travels be safe. I will be looking for you for your return."
Yeah, it'll be a few days, but we'll be bringing a wagon that time with supplies and stuff.
Very good. I shall greet you then.
All right, take care. And we head off. Let him do his thing.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
All right. Well, you got a couple days just hanging out, camping, eating, camping more, eating more.
Well, I didn't realize the damn area was so littered with vampire tombs. Can't say I'm super surprised.
Eh, I mean, I slightly am. But now that it's started, might as well see it to the end. Hopefully we can cut the head off the snake before it gets too big.
Well, being aware of the world makes me wonder if we'll ever actually get rid of them all. I think
If
a
they're
region, maybe.
yeah, they can possibly clean this area down south in the Mexicos and South Americas. If we're going after the progenitor like they said they were, said we are.
Yeah. If the
But
Egyptians are really responsible for making the Aztec vampires, that explains the pyramid stuff on both sides of the Atlantic. That's fascinating.
it's something to think about. If
Well, I mean,
their fancy portals could send us to the Egypts, hell, we might be able to just go to the very first one. If they're even still there. Hell, they could have been the ones that ran off to Romania.
I'm sure the Romanians are descended in some way from the Egyptians.
Depends which ones came first.
I'm inclined to think the Egyptians did, and it kind of spread out from there.
Yeah,
It makes
probably
more
right.
sense. It just makes more sense than the other way around. I mean, about the time the Egyptians were there, so you're at least familiar with Paris if you've never been there. Like, you know the city in France, right?
Yeah, they got the Eiffel something or another.
Yeah, the big tower.
Yeah, but they always smoke and eat that long bread.
Yep, big fans.
What year was the Eiffel Tower built?
I have no idea.
Does it
Like
stretch
mine.
back that far?
I'm
just
in
curious.
the
I
late
don't know
1800s.
myself. I have no idea. Because yeah, you guys
You know,
are
let's find out.
mid to late 1800s yourselves.
Eiffel.
1887.
Oh shit, that works. We would at least know it's being constructed because
Yeah,
it
You would
definitely took time.
be in
January
construction.
26th. What time is it in game? Because it was completed.
1870.
Yeah.
So then, what you will have heard about, you will have read in the paper about a contest being held for architectural design of a monument, some kind of building or tower or some such.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase. Yeah, that's the one mentioned in the papers recently with the Eiffel thing that's being considered.
Yeah, they want a monument to greatness. They've already got the Arc de Triomphe, which I don't expect you to understand or know, but the Paris people love having their monuments. I'll just say it that way. And they love to point at them and then tell you that you don't have any monuments and you suck.
They are proud of being cultured.
Well, we got the Washington one. That's pretty
Yep.
nice.
Obelisks for the
Now,
win.
Incidentally, the obelisk one we have in Washington is an Egyptian design. Just to give you an idea about where influence comes from.
The parallels.
And that little cap on the top is just a mini pyramid on top of the obelisk. So, now, the reason I brought up the Parisians at all is that they descended from barbarians, and barbarians were known as the Parisi during the time of the Romans. And the Romans came at the real far end of the Egyptian Empire. So, that's why I think if there's vampires in Romania, I'm willing to bet that it spread from Egypt to Italy and by the way of the Romans, and then the Romans are the ones that caused it to show up in Romania. And there's probably vampires in Paris. I wouldn't doubt it. Posh little snobbish bastards.
But what about the Japans?
I'm willing to bet everybody moved over. And you know who I'm going to blame for that? Alexander the Great.
Of course,
I'm
the
pretty sure
Japanese
he conquered.
vampire has the head and all of the
Oh, yeah.
guts come out of the body. I love their vampire version. It's super horrific. That to me is worse, like a flying pile of guts with a bitey head.
It certainly doesn't make me go like, oh, romance me.
No.
Pass. Yeah, so I'm willing to bet the Egyptians are probably the source of it because it had to start somewhere. And now I have questions about stories about the place called Enoch, where this may have all went down.
What's an Enoch?
During the time of Jesus, there were people, a country called Aramea, that said language of that country, Aramaic, around the time of the Greeks and the Hebrews, and or what you know as the Jews.
Of course, Joseph of Arimathea.
Mhm.
Quoting Monty Python, don't mind me.
And I'm willing to bet the Egyptians spread this through there, but they talk about a temptress named Lilith, who, uh, you know, tried to seduce Jesus. It didn't work out. But she may have been a vampire. There's a lot of speculation about some of the earliest ones and how our legends may be hiding or coaxing certain tales because of how some people have to describe things and just don't get it right, or they're scared, or this is the best they could come up with at the time.
Bear in mind, too,
Uh,
that the Gnostic Gospels were omitted by the Council of Nicaea, so
yep.
you are lucky in being so educated that you are familiar with those in this era, even if it's just that one. But yeah, there's a bunch.
I don't question the Father's knowledge anymore.
Well, let me tell you about Jesus' brother then.
Yeah, his name was
What?
Bob.
I think it was James, actually.
So
Now, hold on. I can tell you what his Jesus' brother's name was. Because they have something in Japan for it.
there's either a gift coming or an actual answer. Either way, I'm
Uh,
here for it.
Or was it Thomas? Maybe it was Thomas. Where did James come from? Was James one of the apostles?
Mhm.
I'm thinking now that it must have been Thomas. If I look up Gospel of Thomas, let me see what that. Non-canonical sayings gospel discovered near Nag Hammadi, Egypt in 1945 among a group of books known as the Nag Hammadi. All right, let's open that up. Blah, 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 blah.
There you go. In Japan, they claim to have the true resting place of Jesus Christ because his brother, who is Japanese, Izuraki, took his place and died on the cross for him, so Jesus could come to Japan to save all their sins.
I didn't know that. Oh man, that's cool. That's just like Jesus coming to the Americas too. Like he was
All
really
right, so now
busy.
there's a movie you guys need to watch called The Man from Earth. If you go watch The Man from Earth, it tells of a person who's getting ready to retire and move on from a position at a college. And he's like, look, I got to tell you a story before I go because I've just never had a chance to tell anyone. And he goes on. And he basically describes how he doesn't die. And how would it possibly, and there's a bunch of like scientists and college professors who are coming to say goodbye to this individual, only to come to find out at the very end of the story, this guy's Jesus. And Jesus says that, look, I was only trying to spread the teaching of Buddha. I went there to learn from him, and I was trying to spread the teachings of Buddha. And they assumed it was this other thing, and that's not what I was trying to do. And so it was very interesting because if you go look at a lot of Buddhist tenets, they're very much in line with what early century Christians would have believed in. And it's an amazing little story and movie, and I loved it to death. But it kind of fits into this notion of like Zaki and the other stuff like he could have absolutely picked up a brother in that area of the world and brought him back.
So I really want to. Can you send me a personal message with the title of that movie, just so that because I'll forget.
Oh yeah.
But I want to be reminded to look into that.
I keep seeing clips of that movie on TikTok, but I've never actually hunted it down to watch it. It's always been on the list. Because every time I see it, it's like it interests me so much.
So the Japanese Christians actually believe that the promised land is Japan. I mean, that's how you convince them to follow something, obviously. Like, I shouldn't be surprised at that. Just like how
Yeah,
the Mormons think that a Garden of Eden was in Missouri or whatever.
All right, so in our little 3-person chat, here is the IMDb for the film.
Noise. That's perfect.
It's a great film. I stumbled onto it by pure accident a long time ago, and it got just more interesting. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, not sure how this is gonna turn out. And then finally they went with the Jesus part. I was like, oh!
He trekked from Siberia to Alaska. What? Okay. Huh. Oh, that's a little bit racist. Referring to his nose. Anyway, I'm very fascinated by that. Anyway.
So you should have a good time with it.
Back in the Wild West.
So maybe an Egyptian vampire is the spawn of all of this, and maybe it's a disease. And all the scholars that I know of that hunt these things, wildly different theories, because it's kind of hard to nail a vampire down and do some experimentation. I'd love to, but they don't exactly sit still, if you get my drift.
Well, they seem to be
friend.
squirmy little fucks.
Yeah.
Not wrong. I did not want to bring this mess to Hadleyburg, but this was like, that train ride was the last shred of evidence I had of which direction my wife had gone. I was hoping if I hung out around Hadleyburg enough, she'd, well, try to kill me.
Well, you may yet get your wish if the vampiric swarm is descending upon this area. Maybe
Yeah.
she felt something before and came this way.
Mm.
And we just happen to be the ones to kick it off by bringing back some Aztec mines, whatever's pyramids.
Makes me think, or makes me hopeful that if we had turned them off, that might go away. But I don't know if that would wipe out the town, and I'm not really a mass murderer, so it's not something I can really conceive of. Just kind of deal with what we got.
Nah, I think the only way to weasel out of this was to never have done it in the first place.
I don't disagree with you.
But we weren't really in a position to anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we could have gotten out of this necessarily. We didn't have the knowledge of what our ramifications of our actions would be. But we needed to get out of that place ourselves, and that was kind of the only way to open the door again. We didn't have a habit of doing this.
Weirdly enough, yes.
I can just picture one of the nuns, the older stern lady. Yeah, she would just be sitting there lecturing me about why we shouldn't touch things. And pretty sure I'm
Is
thinking of
that
Dolores.
Beatrice?
Oh, is it Beatrice? Really, really cranky? I just need.
Yeah,
Yep, it's
Dolores
Beatrice.
is the nice one. Yeah, or the
Yeah.
more friendly one. Beatrice is the strict one, curmudgeon-y. Their facial expressions give that away.
Yep.
Well, with that happy thought, I think I got first watch tonight. You had it last night?
That's fine. I can still do the first watch tonight. Just because when I lie down, I don't want to say I sleep like the dead, but I don't know. I just kind of prefer first watch. I don't really consider it a burden.
In that case, I'm gonna go lay down.
I'll make sure coffee's on when I come to get you.
Much appreciative.
Yep.
Coffee. Well, of course, you'll be a little bit tense on your ride back to Hadleyburg. Jump at a couple shadows and coyote yelps, but will be pretty uneventful. You make your way back to town. And I would like to give us a little break here for bio purposes. You may consider what you want to do, what you need to do in regards to preparations both for the town while you're away and for yourselves in going away. I will leave up the map here of your fair town. And we can meet back here in about 5 to 10.
All right, sounds good.
Alrighty then. I will see y'all shortly.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Tomorrow we're headed out over to the Ren Fair.
I have yet to attend one. It's on my bucket list.
What have you attended?
Oh, the Renaissance Fair in my town, or well, state.
Yeah, I go to the one in Muskogee, Oklahoma every year.
That one's pretty goddamn good. I hear lots of tales about it.
And they just started one up a little north of Little Rock that I'm going to try out next year.
Okay. If I had to travel to a Ren Fair, the one in Muskogee I actually would go to.
Used to live in Muskogee. Worked it a few years too.
Nice.
Got to be a friar.
Yep.
And that they had a horse-drawn buggy for a time, manned by the friars and family friend of ours. Had the horses and drew it, and we went and dressed up and rode and worked it.
Nice.
Cool.
You know, one year I was at the Arizona Ren Fair, and of course we would show up in costume because I did medieval reenactments and stuff. And so one guy came up to me and grabbed my arm and started leading me away. And I'm like, I apologize. Where the hell are we going? And he's like, if you're not on that goddamn horse in 10 minutes, that joust is going to be late. I'm like, what? And so very like within 10 minutes, I was on a horse. Someone had given me a helmet, strapped it onto my head, and I went into a joust.
Holy
And how did
shit!
that go?
I lost the first round. I managed to hit him and nearly knocked the guy off the horse in the second round. And in the third round, he knocked me off my saddle. I landed on the rail. He rode my ass all the way down the rail until I popped off the other end.
Oh my gosh.
And at that point, when I got done with the 3 passes, and I'm like, you know what, the fact that I even nearly knocked off a guy with no fucking experience, I felt pretty good at myself.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But after that experience of being ridden down the rail, it's like I hurt so bad. I was just like, look, we're done. He's like, oh yeah, no, you need to rest. No, I don't think you understand. Like I did that for free. Like what? Like I don't work here. And you could just see the on their face. I'm like I don't work for you at all. It's just I wanted to joust before I die, so that was the reason I said sure.
They're all just reviewing their HR policies and liability
I'm like,
stuff.
No,
Like,
it was more their liability and that we're gonna get so fucking sued.
like so it's very simple. I was like, look, if you just comp my day here at the park and tell the merchants that for the food ones, I get whatever I want, I'm good.
I mean, that sounds like a fun deal to me.
Yeah, I was, like we're done. No one died, and so it worked out. But it was certainly an experience I will never forget.
builds character, that.
Yeah, so I'm deliberately not wearing enough armor tomorrow to hopefully make that circumstance happen again. I think my armor looks better than most of the stuff I see at the Ren Fair. But yeah, I'm probably getting dressed up tomorrow morning. Do the thing.
I think you should dress up as a Klingon and go to the Ren
Well,
Fair.
that
There's
could be
ballets and
fun. My
stuff.
wife is absolutely dressing up in a Star Trek outfit, and I'm going to
nice.
dress up with my armor. And she's going to. The notion is that I'm undercover and she's not. She's like the newbie who didn't read all the rules about the Prime Directive.
Nice.
Is this you, Goose?
Yep, that's me last year,
Oh, cool.
or the year before that. I can't remember.
Oh, that's great. Super cool.
Do not mess with this guy. He has an axe.
Yeah, back when I had the ponytail.
Yeah, that's
I like the
also
ponytail. That's
very
pretty dope.
Viking. Very cool.
Yep. Now it sits in a bag on the shelf.
The ponytail or the axe?
The ponytail.
Okay.
One of these days, I'll send it off to Locks of Love.
Oh,
Ah.
very nice of you.
Yep.
But next year, I got this other Christmas gift. Someone got me a large quality Zweihander.
Ooh.
Nice. That's a big fucking sword.
It is. It's literally as tall as me, so it's perfect. They're
Mhm.
supposed to be your height.
They should be.
I'm jealous of you guys going to all your fairs and cons and stuff.
Well, Texas apparently has a couple of them that are pretty good.
Yeah, and I got the con coming up in May. God, I still can't get over that they're gonna fly me out there for this one.
Oh yeah, is that a Star
I'm
Trek
actually
one?
being it's a Star Trek one. They're asking me to show up as a guest. And I was like, what? Like I
Cool.
didn't realize I'd gotten to this point. What the okay?
Where's
So,
this
are
one at?
you going to do a
Philadelphia.
presentation? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
gonna do a
Jealous.
presentation. We'll film it again.
Nice.
Um it's been a very that last con was super weird because I got to hang out with all the Klingon actors and then there was I know I told you this about this, but we talked about it like last year, so I don't expect it to be a recent conversation. Um, so Andrea calls me at the end of like the first day at the con, and I had to tell her like, look, I'm at a table with a lot of the Star Trek actors. We're gonna just having dinner, and so one of them taps me on the shoulder, like, who's that? I was like, it's my wife. I was just trying to let her know that. He's like, hey, put it on speaker. I'm like, honey, I gotta put you on speaker for a second. And then he leaned out for over the table and told everybody like, I was like, what's her name again? I'm like, Andrea. It's like, tell her, say hi, Andrea. Hi. And then everybody said, she's like, oh my god, I recognized 5 of those voices. And so everybody starts laughing and stuff like that. So I took her back on speaker. I'm like, yeah, I'll call you later. She's like, no, go do your thing, because like for Star Trek, most of it was DS9 actors. Um, Martok was sitting on my left side. Gowron was sitting on my right side. The guy who played Damar, the Cardassian, was right over next to Martok, and then Jadzia Dax was right across from me. And then there was a couple of other people who played side characters on various episodes that were making up the remainder of the table. Or one of them was an Orville actor who was about 2 people over to my right.
Nice.
And it was a super surreal experience, and all I was trying to do was just not look like a kid who is fangirling out, because inside I was like
I would have
and
just fangirled out, but I would have made sure to fangirl to each one respectively, individually. Make my way around.
Is it
Make
too
a
late to get
spectacle of
hired on
myself.
as a as your lackey so I can also get a trip to Philly?
Stage assistant.
oddly enough, my wife took that position to be my lackey for the Philly trip, because
Yeah.
I was this was the thing that tripped me out, is they absolutely said you and your assistant,
Nice.
and I was just floored. I don't even know how else to explain it. And I'm like, wait, you're going to cover my travel? He's like, no, we're going to cover your travel. We're going to cover your hotel, and we're going to cover 2 of the meals every day. You'll just have to cover your dinners. I'm like, oh, uh, uh, okay. Like, so you
Nice.
interested? Like, was there a sign-up sheet that I could like just drop some blood on? Do you have my DNA? We're good.
Yeah, how does one not? I guess it's like a courtesy not to assume, but yeah, that's quite
But
awesome.
yeah, no, I was totally I'm like, sure. Free trip to Philly, and I get to bring Andrew finally this time. Like, yeah. So at least I think to myself, like, well, I don't have to worry about bringing my gear this time. And Andrew's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, the likelihood they're going to put me in a hotel that's different than the convention site seems really stupid. You'd keep the talent in the same place you're holding the convention, because then you can
Mhm.
just go up and down a floor, grab who you need to, and take them to where they need to go.
Yeah, sake of convenience.
hmm So, because the last time I was there in Philly, I had to walk a mile each way, because it was insane to try to do it any other fashion. But oh yeah, no, that's a beautiful fucking sword. Yeah, super dope. Love it to
Extra
death.
big ass sword.
I couldn't find the picture of me holding that, so I was like, I'll just take one. It's on the wall, literally right
Yeah.
above me.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And I still got to get. I have a Batleth signed by Worf and a Kurleth signed by Worf, so that I'm going to put those onto a placket. And because there's a debate about like either I make them into a table and cover them in resin so they'll stay forever, or put them on a plaque on a wall. And I just haven't completely decided which way I want to go with that yet.
I mean, it would make a really awesome table, but that means you can never touch it, wield it,
I'm fine with
etc.
that because I have spares, and it was so funny. One of my friends for Christmas got me the 3D printed TikTok that
Yeah.
actually has the because I showed you the pictures. Basically, there's a switch where you can have the blades close and open, which is not normal for 3D printed stuff. But this one's got the moving parts. I was like, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's getting
But
much
they were
better.
trying to figure out if I had given away my last TikTok. Because Andrea at one point came to me and said, like, can we go to a convention where you don't give away a sword or something? And I looked at her with that look of like, who the fuck are you and have you met me before?
Yeah.
And
Well, I
with
was
the
really
incredulous
surprised
answer of, no.
when you told me about it, and like I saw that one recording where you just gave one away. I was like, that's wow, kind of epic.
Yeah, so I made there's a couple, I've always given away something, but I've only given away 2 batlets. But
Only.
I gave away the 2, and the lady came by the booth every goddamn day to say hi, talk. It
Aw,
was her first Star Trek convention. It was also my first Star Trek convention. So I'm like, let's just kick the door in and say, like, I'm here to stay.
heck yeah, that's how you do it.
And when one of the guys in the room stood up, again, a person I do not know, I've never met again, so stands up and in front of the entire crowd's like, you're coming back, right? Because this was great. I'm like, wow, you can't pay for someone to do that stunt and make it seem natural. Holy shit.
Oh yeah,
And
mad
that's
props.
all that's going on in my head. But on that the
That's how
first
you
time I'm
earn
giving
a
my
guest
talk,
sponsorship, sir.
yeah. But the first time I gave the talk, like the lights in my face were so bright, I could only make out shapes. I knew
Mm.
that I had roughly 100 people in the room, but I could only make out rough shapes. So I knew when I gave away the battle that time, Andrew was mad because she knows what the cost of making it was. Um, I wouldn't look to my right because I knew where she was sitting. And I knew there was going to be, I wouldn't see anything. I would see shadows and 2 little red beady dots, and that's all I would see in the darkness. And I didn't want to have that view in my face. And I could just feel it. Like you could feel someone boring into your soul from like, nope, don't look to the right. Don't look to the right. Center and left. Ignore the people on the right. It will burn if you make eye contact, you'll melt, you know. But that was also the one where I managed to get Garrett, who played Harry Kim on Voyager. I was working at his booth selling T-shirts, and he moderated my panel for me. So when it was question time, he was the one running around the room with the microphone.
That was super cool too.
Oh yeah, no, when I realized how much he makes per hour at one of these cons with just signatures and photographs and stuff, and the
Oh
fact that he
yeah.
gave up an hour of his time is an insane amount of money that I'm like, I can't pay him for that. So
Well,
I've
it
always
all
been
comes
super
around.
stupidly grateful about it.
It is,
But
I think, I mean, so it's hard to say that there's a better fandom in existence. Just in the camaraderie, the lack of drama, like
it tends to be better than most.
no
But it has its
gatekeeping and
moments like
stuff.
anything else does.
Well, I mean, that's just, yeah, every pot can have a bad asshole in it, but I don't know, I just get the impression like the actors enjoy doing it and spending their time with it, and the fans, like again, that sense of camaraderie, like everyone being in it for the same appreciation and
Yeah, the last Philly convention,
co-nerds.
I got to have Gowron and the lady who played Martok's wife, Shannon Cochran, who played Cyrilla, um, at my panel. So it was the first time I had actors on my panel.
Ooh,
And then I got to sit with them for an hour and talk about, like, how did you come up with the culture of Klingons and why did we do these things? And was this just because, like there was a budget constraint, or, and we have to talk about these things. And the crowd was kind of small actually for that one. It was like under 50 people. So I had them just all pull up to the front. We all just kind of sat around in a circle and
that's awesome.
chatted.
That's
So
way
I didn't
cool.
try to
That's
give
a
it
fun
in the classic
experience.
thing. Yeah. And it was interesting because like when Gowron or Bob O'Reilly had to dip out a little bit because he had family coming into town that day. So about, I want to say 3/4 of the way through, he had to duck. But Shannon stayed for the entire thing. And then she went back and apparently told the con person, like, I could listen to him talk about Klingons all day.
Aw.
And I'm like, that's the nicest, because I'm certainly not paying for that.
All right.
And I gave away a Kurlev during that particular presentation.
Of course.
And I let Shannon give it away. And the great part for me is that Shannon got to pick who was the person who was going to get it, because then it wasn't on me to pick someone. Because one of the people in the particular run-up, because I always try to pick, like, I tell everybody I need at least 3 people. I need 3 people to ask questions, and then I'll let you all leave. Otherwise, we're going to lock the doors, and none of us are going. And I turned off all the transporters, so you can't beam out. And I typically at least get 3, but I wanted to make sure there was 3 people to pick from before we gave it away. And then when one of my friends showed up in the lineup, I looked over at Shannon, I'm like, all right, you get to decide who gets the Kurlev in your hands. And she's like, oh, I do? And it's like, yeah. And so she picked them, and then I'm like, no one can say I'm playing favorite at this point.
Right, yeah.
Because Shannon doesn't know who I know. So, and it ended up going to the person who was my friend, but it's on video that I had no. It was a big thing for me. Like, I didn't want to just seem like, oh yeah, you showed up in this line, here you go. So, because when I gave away one of my bat'leths, I gave it away to a person who had been studying anthropology, and the lady who had brought him to this convention, she and her husband were anthropologists at a university, and this was just one of her students who had been a friend outside of the class. And she came up to me and said, like, your talk was so good, I dropped into learning mode. And and then she gave me her credentials, and I was like, oh my God, an actual anthropologist told me that my talk about Klingon anthropology made her want to learn more. I don't know what to do with myself.
Be excited, and once in a while change your underwear from the pure excitement, because that's what I would do.
Yep. I absolutely felt like that was going to be a thing that would happen. But it's a weird set of experience that I have. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
Until Goose objects, I will not.
I just looked down and like, oh God, it's 9:12. Shit, I need to shut up. And if I thought $20 was as easy it would be to get a motorcycle in this game, I would send it to you now.
I thought that was awesome.
That's almost as good as
what?
Yeah, like, I remember they had a picture, there was a meme of reenactors, and it's clearly a guy in a Norse Viking style helmet with the chainmail and all that stuff. And in his hand, he has his cell phone, and he's clearly texting somebody about something.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of that when I looked at it. I was like, yeah.
Well, the only thing would be like the difficulty of it would be finding, like, you'd have 1 tank of gas, and then what? Good luck
Yeah,
presenting
you'd literally be
fossil
making an
fuels to the
industry.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you are. Oh, as a side note, like, Da Vinci came up with like concepts of a flying machine before this era. So if you wanted to
Yeah,
design some
helicopters and
kind
stuff.
of cycle thing, it would probably still be pedal based, but there are also ghost rock contraptions and steam powered stuff. Like,
Well,
I don't
there's
think it's,
ornithopters in the books.
yeah, I don't think it's out of reach. I'll just leave it there. Talk to your friend Agnito.
Yep,
It's either
Victor.
going to be Agnito or we're going to have to go up to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
No, we have Victor. We have a backup to Agnito.
Agnito, and yeah, Victor would handle like more of the mechanical aspect, and Agnito can be like, well,
So you power it.
be fucking careful with this power source. Don't let it turn into any train spiders. uh, Good
Oh,
times.
you know, she's gonna have a hard time living that down. Because everybody talk like, well, be careful if she makes you something. Why, it might turn into a spider.
Well, I think that you guys did not like necessarily out her to the whole town,
Nope.
so it could just be kind of rumors and stuff. Like she would be known to tinker with stuff, but then so is Victor,
As
so
long as
is
she does
the
her,
upcoming mayor.
I
So
don't
like a
think the word.
conspiracy theorist in the corner can be like, "Oh, the mayor set up a false flag operation. Like he controlled the train, he made it so that he could be the one who
Oh my
heroically
god,
saved the town from it."
I saw a comic
Uh,
run where they try to basically describe Batman as a brutalist parent who abuses Dick Grayson in becoming Robin.
oh God.
And it was clearly done from DC. It wasn't like a spin-off or something. They did it from like the angle of a child being taught all the things that Robin was taught, and really spun hard on the abuse angle.
Yeah,
Um,
that
yeah, so
makes me
that's,
a little bit nauseated. That's not cool.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, from a storytelling standpoint, I get why you might have tried it, but I don't see how this benefits the cosmology of the world.
It
You know, I'm
doesn't.
just not
No,
seeing the
that's
benefit.
just a weird like, yeah. My favorite, all right, last tangent. My favorite like Batman anti or alter kind of concept shows Alfred in the mirror, and it shows his inner monologue while he's standing at this mirror, and he's thinking about how like Bruce was troubled, he needed a way to focus like his pin-up anger and stuff and like put things to task.
Mhm.
And so he came up with a solution, and all the while he's standing in the mirror, he's putting on makeup. And when he's done, he looks like
Oh God, he's the
Alfred
Joker.
wearing makeup. Yeah. And then he, and his inner thought says, it didn't work until I smiled. And the next panel, rather than being Alfred in the mirror, looking like just like Alfred standing with makeup in the mirror, it shows the actual Joker all crazied out and like, meh. It's just first time I saw that, I was like, holy shit, that is one hell of a concept. I absolutely fell in love with it immediately. It was amazing. Anyway,
Yep.
which I think is like that's still kind of messed up, but that's not as bad as Batman being an abusive adoptive
Aaron.
parent. That's just whack. Anyway,
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to need to kind of huddle up the church. I mean, obviously, I don't have to convince the sheriff there's a problem, and I don't think I have to convince Agnito that vampires are real.
he knows because he was almost
There.
seduced by them. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was
and
weak to the
really,
moving wild.
I mean, so like as a conundrum, like you can freak out the town, or you can just tell authorities to be on the lookout. Like you don't necessarily have to be like town meeting. Guess what, everyone? Be afraid at night. But you could too. You could be like, hey, guess what, everyone? Y'all need to be prepared for this.
No, what I think I want to do is looking me dead in the face on this map. Um, get the leadership together of the town, um, and explain to them the things. Use the marshal, show the various items, hold up the hat from, because I'll bring the lady who runs the um, brothel in on this. She'll become part of the town leadership council. Um, only because I'm trying to explain, if someone's going to see someone at night, it's going to be one of her girls, for the love of God.
Eh,
And so
Potentially.
they become a good line of defense. Tell them about the vampires. Tell them that the plan is to further work the power line situation so that we can light up the town at night. That's the single biggest line of defense I can think of.
That will definitely help. That is a long-term project that could be completed by the time you get back. Certainly won't be completed overnight, though.
No, but I mean that's the thing I would like the town to focus on is more power in the more area, because if something starts to go wrong, you need to run to the lit areas of the town. Will it stop them? I don't know. But these are creatures of darkness, and they use darkness to their advantage. And if they don't have that darkness, they'll think twice about coming to the light. And you can
Oh,
always
yeah.
compound up in the church, which is, and as he points out, and you notice that the church is very much kind of a small compound all of a sudden itself.
Oh, yeah.
Um, there's a reason it's a fortress.
Yeah, you could also too like encourage the deputies to make their way about and be like, there's a new town policy as things are growing and we want to avoid crime and stuff or people stumbling home in the dark. All businesses are mandated to have like a burning lantern overnight and residents are encouraged to do so, but not forced because of course that would come out of their own pockets. Something like that where the
No, but the business
townspeople
is
are
absolutely.
encouraged to light stuff up. Like it can just be like a town ordinance. Maybe you can have that be something part of Agnito's campaign. However, you would want to work that. Like that's a way to kind of start until you have actual power
Electricity.
lines around. Yeah.
Yep.
Is Agnito elected yet, or am I still acting mayoral?
The mayor position is kind of semi-vacant. You're kind of acting only because you're the town's biggest authority as the
Yep.
marshal. But that campaign is still going, is likely to be resolved in your absence.
In that case, I just make it a standing order.
Well, there you go. Martial law, no pun intended. Because you're a marshal, and anyway,
So
different spelling.
if I have to, I'll bring all the nuns in and make it very clear what my job is for the Catholic Church.
They will respect you being a holy warrior of the Heavenly Father, of
And
course.
anyone who has the slightest debate of like, I think the old man's lost his kook kind of thing, like he will show them that he has these powers. Like, and there is a reason I was given them. It is to hunt the undead,
There
and
are
they're
town
coming.
residents who have seen you display that meteorological phenomena, as it
Phenomena.
were. Do, 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 do.
So I don't think I'm going to have too hard a time to explain, like, hey, here's the real reason I'm here. And so the reason I have grand plans for this town is to try to make it a safe bastion against the darkness.
You lead a complicated and treacherous life.
Yeah. And I also get my hat back from the kid I saved. And how is he doing, incidentally?
Um, because of the drain and fatigue that he underwent, he will be at because there's not like a formal like hospital. There is a doctor's office, but they don't have like a formal hospital to for respite or anything. So he will be housed by the church and will be kind of in recovery. He doesn't have any mental ailments. He's in good spirits, but he needs time to just kind of rest, recover, be in a calm and quiet place. Word will have been sent to the ranch from whence he came to
Good.
answer
Let them know.
the disappearance. Yeah, because that was definitely a thing. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if there's really been set up like a town budget
I'm
Um,
sure there's something.
because nobody is collecting tax right now
right.
to contribute to that budget. You won't have government funding necessarily.
What I will do until the town infrastructure gets sorted out, um, I would like to take 15 grand a month out of my budget or my personal income and make it the town budget.
Well, now the town is rich. Take your hat off, boy.
But there's
Yeah.
$15,000.
Or looking at how much a lamp and oil cost, wow, you get by like $50 a month or $50 a week to light
Yeah, I just don't
good
want the
chunks of
town
the
to
town.
worry about stuff while we're gone.
Oh yeah, of course.
So he'll fill out the necessary forms, paperwork,
There
and
will not be forms or paperwork available yet, but you can write like a letter of intent that is signed that Tabitha can keep on hand in
Tabitha can
place
keep
of
it,
the marshal because normally we go with the
and
marshal. Eventually, it
he'll
will
let
be
the
repopulated to Agnito's responsibility. But for now, it's a little bit informal, but at least they would have your signature to
yeah.
indicate, like,
He also sends
consensual
copies
intent.
of the letter to the diocese in Santa Fe, um, to his daughters, or sorry, his daughters, which he doesn't consider them daughters-in-law. He made it very clear in one of his letters, like, look, I'm going to stop this daughter-in-law thing. We're family. That's all we got left. So you're just my daughters.
Yeah.
Um, and let them know, like, hey, 15 grand of my money for right now is going to go float the town as a town budget on a monthly basis, which still leaves me with a scat amount of cash. It's not like I'm hurting or anything. Um, and it should be fine to keep them going until the town infrastructure, because, and I explained in the letter to the daughters, like, look, the mayor election's coming up. I got a beat on vampires. I don't know if my wife's in their group or not yet, but it's finally the first lead I've had since getting out here, all those kind of things. He's laying it out.
Oh yeah. Well, I know it's a hell of a dangled carrot for Father Carter. Like, oh shit, like this is source. This is what I've came here for. Like you said, the only lead that you've really gotten of that very specific supernatural thing. Like there were chupacabra in that one cave and stuff in the Ghost Rock cave, but that felt really isolated. There wasn't like a
Yeah,
sentient power
it felt like
structure
a
and
one-off.
stuff. Yeah.
This absolutely feels different.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, there are global implications, as you have already alluded to.
So this feels like, even if it doesn't lead to her now, that this is the best lead I've got to eventually find her.
Oh yeah. Well, and two, like
So
it's a good
pursuing
experience
this,
to learn like about the source, about the power specifically. Like you've learned that you can recover souls if there's enough remorse. If you can expand upon that, like that could be just like phase one. It could be phase 10. It could be like the last thing, like, oh, you've reached absolution. You can go to heaven instead of hell. But maybe it's just part of like a list or a progression of ways that you can apply your power.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
God, rewards creativity.
So
Indeed. So, yeah, the town will definitely be in good hands. They'll be well prepared. It's going to be pretty bright there. Like from this
and
point
I
moving forward, people taking the train will be able to see the town at night well in advance because there's like a lot of flat open
good.
desert. So they'll see like the distant glow, almost like a beacon. People who would maybe be lost in the desert will be able to see that.
Maybe it won't be now.
Definitely more prominent than say like a campfire smoke plume, as you guys
Obviously, check in with the grave guy, Grim, I think his name was,
it sure is.
and
Graham
make sure he
Harper.
know. I know, Grim's going to be brought in, like, hey, they crawled out because they're the Walking Dead, and here's what you need to know. So if you catch any more like that, I'm not saying fight them. I'm saying, you need to let these people in town know.
Oh yeah.
Wake them the fuck up if you have to.
Watch yourself.
And I will return the super tall top hat to the madam of the number 16 there, and let her
Cactus
know the
Blossom.
fate, unfortunately, of the girls. Yeah, the Cactus Blossom.
I still have. Yes, I do. Waha. The Cactus Blossom splash
Yep.
page.
There's Ruby, the madam of the house.
Make that
And
a little
Violet
bit
is
bigger.
still the one that intrigues me the most.
Yeah, I appreciate your taste because she was the one for me. Like in making the pictures, I was like, she's my favorite.
Yeah, it really wasn't a picture thing. I just read what her interests were, and I was like, oh, that's it right there.
Oh yeah, yeah, a personality match, but also I think
Don't be
she's the
wrong, she's
cutest.
cute.
And that of course is an acquired taste. Everybody has their thing. Some people like blondes or brunettes or whatever. I've always been a brunette person.
I have
Um,
attracted more blondes than I think I have any right to.
yeah, I have a couple like in my past, which is not intentional. Like I don't know that I necessarily like it's not a disqualifier. Like a pretty person is a pretty person, but
Yeah, I just
yeah,
don't. I
if
wasn't
I'm
never
like
looking for
writing
blonde hair
down or
in the
designing my
individual. It's just
perfect.
those things over the history. You're like, why is it always blonde? I don't get it. So,
Oh yeah. Well, there's at one time it was kind of exotic and stuff, but
oh,
now
and the
like
Japanese
so
still
many
love it.
can. Oh yeah. Well, now because you can dye your hair whatever color you want it to be,
Yep.
like black with colored tips is popular now, or at least coming into popularity. I think that's cool. Anyway, I'm done talking about lady fashion because I'm definitely not an expert. That was the Cactus Blossom Splash. Back to town.
Make sure. And I'll talk to the seamstress, Bart's wife. Hand her the clothes and let her know, like, hey, when you get a chance, could you bring Wyatt over, get his take his measurements and adjust these to fit him so he has some nicer clothing.
Following your previous instructions, he already has been measured,
Oh,
and
good, good, good.
she is well on her way.
Yeah, just add these to the pile of stuff.
Yeah, certainly.
Um, I will talk to Victor and tell him, could you make some silver crosses for everybody in town?
That's a weird request, but yeah, pretty easy.
I'll pay for
They're
it. I don't
just
care what
little
it costs.
crosses that doesn't take much in the way of material, just a little bit time consuming. How fancy would you want them? Would you want them inlaid? He might have to outsource fancy carving, but he can definitely provide the base. He
On
just
the
has
back of it,
big hands,
all I
hard to do intricate details.
no, I totally understand. On the back, I want it to be very simple on the front. On the back, we can put, some marking for yourself or the person who does it, and then like something to distinguish Hadleyburg.
Oh,
Um,
very nice.
and just but on the back side, and make sure that however it hangs won't let it turn too much. So that way, I don't want it to accidentally flip around on the person and trying to show off the town name or something. That's not the point.
No,
Um,
it'll be sizable enough that it'll be heavy and rest in place very well.
okay, good. Um, and I will pay for every single one of them.
He will provide a an invoice when all is completed.
Okay, I'll
He
take care
knows
of
you're
it then.
good for it because hell,
Everything else going on in the
you just
town.
invested $1,500 in the town's budget per month.
I
So,
don't know, 15 grand
oh my God. Well, that's gonna last like a long, long
per
time.
month. Because the
Hmm.
only the only drain on my personal income is, I mean, we calculated all the expenses and stuff like that.
Right.
It's only eating up about 19 grand uh, a month. That still leaves me right around like 23,000, 24,000 to play with.
It's quite a bit.
So even if I donate 15 grand, that still leaves me roughly like seven, at least 7 grand
Well,
to,
that means the town is going to grow quicker. They're going to be clamoring for more utility services. They're going to be clamoring for things like a schoolhouse. There is actually a teacher who's in town now.
yeah.
Kind of
And
an old, uh, kind of a rudimentary old schoolhouse that can be used. But yeah, Just about everybody can ask for improvements, but something that is public service, those things
Oh,
are
they'll
going
get
to vastly
priority and
improve.
stuff like that. But yeah, I can easily float the town budget for a while, and
Grim
then
can
once
get
the
a new
town is
shovel. Sorry, what was
yes, yes, absolutely. Like, no, Grim, not you. Fuck off.
that? It's just a shovel. It's, uh,
Like, you wanted it engraved with your initials? God damn it, Grim, you selfish son of a bitch. No, if Grim wants a new shovel, I will have it made out of Damascus steel. He can have a new goddamn shovel.
what
Silver
about two?
plated
Don't get
handle.
greedy.
God damn it, Grim, you have two hands. You just need him to work one shovel. You don't need a backup. Oh, what? They need to put diamonds on one of the new hookers? Yeah, no, we'll totally take care of it. No, we don't have any money for a goddamn shovel, Grim. Stop asking.
I don't know if like state sponsorship of a brothel is that gets a little murky.
Oh, that's why that's a personal project for the father.
Well, and Agnito will be able to determine all of that if he gets elected.
Yeah, but this will give him a operating budget to work with, and then once he's able to take it over, we can cut off my funding the town.
Yeah.
And the town can work with the budget that it has, which will be substantial.
Well, you'll definitely be giving them a good base, and then once they use that to set up certain operations, and like you said, being able to collect taxes and all of that, they'll be
Yeah, I'm
well
just
off and going. And plus, too, if they have like a sales tax in town, because there will be more people coming out along the train route.
and just to not literally cut the town off at its ankles, any paperwork that the town needs, just so they understand it, this is not a loan. This is considered like, oh god, what's the term I'm looking for? A grant. And as
Grant.
long as they abide by certain stipulations, there's no requirement for repayment. Like, they got to build the school, they got to take care of these things. Dan's descendants has to be taken care of, so that way, people, the youth of the town, if not managed by family, can be managed by something. Um, things like that.
Yeah.
And there's no like outrageous demands, like I don't want green fucking M&Ms or something.
Had to go to the
So
seed shop on the edge of town.
I know, right? Because you didn't carry the green ones
Had to beat him
again.
to death with his own shoe. That's from Wayne's World. Don't listen to me.
But as long as they do like those basic things, it's considered a grant to the town that doesn't, I followed the rules, I don't have to repay kind of statement. So that way I can write it off on taxes, and that's how I'll get the money back later.
Nice.
So the marshal has said into a couple of things there. Do you have anything to add about governorship or preparation or anything?
No, I really leave the governing of the town.
Oh, that was a question for Marshal Rankin, so I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were asking my opinion of something he wrote.
Oh, no, no.
Please continue.
Piggybacking onto that, yeah. Sorry.
My bad. Please go on.
I mean, no, that sounds fine to me.
All right. I have a follow-up question for you. What are your intentions with Miss Bergman? Long and short term. She has, of course, her ranch that she inherited from her now dead father. You know that Dakota murdered him to death.
Why not? We'll marry her one day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, might as well.
So do you have a formal proposal, or is that something you're going to surprise her with later?
Yeah, I'll surprise her with later.
Okay.
But for now, I'll send one of the deputy boys out to fetch her from the farm and bring her into town. until the vampire shit's done.
Pretty sure Caleb would volunteer for that. Unless you don't trust sending out like a young and Studley. You can send out Jack instead.
It doesn't matter which one, as long as one of them will protect her.
Alrighty. Yeah, she will be reluctant to stay in town away from the ranch, but might be able to be convinced. If you want to pen a letter to her, that might go a long way in convincing her of an ominous threat and
I'll pen a letter.
letter pinned. Very well. So, Father Carter mentioned his intent to bring the wagon on your trip back to the Mayan village.
Yep.
Also go and restock ammo.
A good idea. If you need to, take a look at the party inventory, see if you need to adjust that at all. I'm assuming, whether it's posted in there or not, that you're bringing back all of the Mayan artifacts as well as the
Yes, I don't intend
pouch
to
of
try to
coins.
cheap out on that thing. I intend to turn all that stuff over to the appropriate people now that I know who the fuck they are.
Well, of course, yeah. Okay, cool. So you can count that as covered. You don't necessarily have to put that into the inventory because you'll just have to
Yeah,
deal with
I'm
it
just going to
later.
assume the stuff that I put in there, like the food, the cooking equipment, the preparations, and other stuff,
Hmm.
is refurbished to be at those levels again.
Okay.
I'm going to remove the ghost rock because that was Agnito's stash, and I'm assuming that stays here.
He would appreciate that. And it's volatile enough that if he's not there to observe it, he would rather it not be something that can
No,
cause an accident.
all right, that's been updated.
Can I please have both
Yeah,
of you roll your smarts?
everything. Pop up Father Carter sheet here real quick. Scroll up to the top because I'm all the way down nestled in powers. Just a flat smarts roll, right?
Si, senor.
Okay.
Kind of a
Oh, sorry.
roundabout way, a
Submit.
little bit of an insight.
Fuck me! I haven't rolled anything good today.
Well, that's okay.
I'm gonna try one of my two white bennies and just here you go.
Hey, there you go.
I think that's the Benny button. Okay. Man, I feel like the guy from Ravnica the other day.
Right.
Not
The
Ravnica. Wait, no, was it Ravnica? I'm thinking of
Oh, it
Esper.
might have been
Esper.
last night, Esper. Yeah, he was just,
Yep.
welcome to the party.
Poor fucker.
Low roll, low
One,
roll,
one,
low roll.
one,
Yeah.
one.
Divisible by 7. So
And we're gonna have
the
to
two
sanitize
of
this
you
dice.
are, as far as like, of course, the basics are kind of presumed as far as eating, ammo, that sort of need. You can throw on like some extra rope and that sort of thing. That's easy to come by in town and isn't really worth exploring your budget because it's not measured in the amount of decimals that would matter to your budget. However, uh, it will be Marshall Rankins who realizes that you may want to inquire, explore, speculate on what can be used against the undead and specifically the Nosferatu as a deterrent, as a weapon, something that they are weak to, might be
Me.
susceptible to, besides just Wayland Carter himself. Father Carter, you so everybody is generally familiar with like vampire legends and stuff, so it's not I you don't have a role required to think of like steaks and garlic and holy water. You can kind of be like, well, from what I've understood, both of you have access to that the book,
The Ranger's Handbook.
the Ranger's Handbook, which is going to give you some leads and speculation. There's also a resident in town named Seraphina Moonshadow. You may inquire with her as her dealings kind of lend into the otherworldly, as her bio suggests. Pin emergency telegram for information, Ranger HQ.
And I think we talked about what's the deacon or bishop at the Diocese of Santa Fe being aware of my true mission.
Oh, yes.
He gets a letter as well, letting him know that we have a lead on the undead and we're taking steps to eliminate them. And these are Egyptian vampires.
Excellent, eh? So a couple of outgoing correspondences.
Yeah, if we get into town in the morning, send those off. Hopefully by the evening we'll get a reply. And we'll set back off out in the morning.
But yeah, so any of those considerations, do definitely add them to your inventory, because later on, if you're like, oh, I want to splash holy water on them, I'm gonna be like, what holy water? And you can respond, the holy water in the inventory that you told me to add, as opposed to, oh shit, I forgot to add that. And the holy water will be sitting in the cart back in the Mayan village.
I will. So how I'm going to bless the holy water is I'm going to be using smite on the water containers
Ooh, I like the application.
so that the water will hurt the vampires, and that's how I'm trying to make it holy water, is by casting smite on it.
Okay. What kind
I'm
of
assuming.
containers are you using? I assume this isn't just like open cups that you have spilling about in the wagon.
Nope. I was going to get a bunch of canteens,
Okay.
so that way that you could have portable holy water arsenal.
Yeah, of course.
I would
You
like to
guys have
do.
seen the Lost Boys, right?
Yep.
They go to the church and fill up their canteens and squirt guns. Well, I think there's like a baptism going on or something. The Frog Brothers, like, yeah. I digress.
So I'll be the one forming it on each of them. So I would imagine I have to give you a ton of rolls at this point.
I will let you make one roll that encompasses your general supply.
Got it. All right. So before we do that, let's pop up Father Carter's page, and here comes the faith check. Or I'll just scroll down to smite and do it from there.
Of course.
And now you mentioned, Goose, one of your things could give a +1 or a +2 to some rolls. I'm just wondering if I need to apply them here.
Add +1 to spirit rolls when attempting to recover from shaken.
Okay, so it's not that. All right, cool. Oh, yes, sir. So the water is the raised version of smiting for holy water. Like I got the extra oomph.
That is very good. Roll for me, please, a d4 with a minimum of 2. Just want to see if you might be able to get a couple extra for how many large canteens you'll be able to have full
Sure thing.
and ready. Because you're assuming that you're not going to be able to take your wagon to the jungle. So,
Yeah.
all of which you're considering, you do have to have carryable. Like, you can come up with something like a duffel bag or whatever of vampire hunting gear or your regular camping equipment and stuff. But
May I spend
you
a
could be
blue
a little
Benny to
weighted
see it?
down.
May I spend blue Benny to add to that number?
A whole d6? Isn't it a d6 that you add with the blue?
Yeah.
Yes, you may.
All right. I appreciate the offer. Let me hit the button for the Benny thing here. Boom. And now let me take blue from 2 down to 1. All right. And the white didn't take. I guess I didn't hit enter or something. So the white should also be at 1 right now because of a previous time I used a Benny. And I'm just going to type it out. /R 1D. Nope, that's 5. Fuck it. I knew it. That's 6. Sorry, Klingon keyboard. Balls! All right, well, I got 3.
3 is good. 1 for each of you and 1 spare. That way both of you can be carrying. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. It even looks old-timey. Oh, that's so cool. Goose just posted in the out of game chat a vampire
I'm looking at it
hunting
now.
kit
It's fucking great.
Right?
I figured that's what you carry around.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be it.
You got the hammer and the stakes and the crucifix and the little Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into this.
With a
I'm
few
into this.
other
This is exactly his kit.
accoutrements. Oh, that's
I'm going to call it,
awesome.
I'm just going to put it on my gear. We'll call it the vampire box.
Okay. I will allow it. That's super awesome. I would say probably your spare canteen of holy water would be in there if you wanted to keep it on the
Yep.
other two, like on your persons respectively.
I'm just gonna write down on the attack holy water bomb.
So very specifically, that will have been provided by Seraphina Moonshadow. She's
Okay,
going to blow
great.
dust off of it and be like, these horrors have not plagued this area since I've been here. And I came here in my middle age, but I've always kept this just in case. And then she's going to whip that out and put a big old smile on your face, which she
I
will
knew there's a
return in
reason I liked
kind
you.
with a knowing nod and smile.
Mm.
She's a little bit
Yeah.
creepy, but in a fun way.
I spent
no.
some time at her sundries talking to her and going through books about them. The Feratus.
The Feratus.
And he will make it very clear that Seraphina is brought into the inner circle of town leadership.
That is really interesting. I would actually want to know, I would say if you have like a town council, I would limit it to 7 so that you have an off number for a tiebreaker for any kind of
That's
vote or
fair.
decisions. The 3 player characters, because Agnito would obviously be a part of that too. So him, yourself, selves. Now there's Moonshadow, that is 4. You will have 3 more to choose from that you can add to the town council.
Okay, my first recommendation is Bart.
Actually, I want to put this in my notes and then I can make like a
Little
document
pop-up
handout or
thing.
something. Yeah, but I do definitely want this in my notes. All right, so
So I think it should actually be like you sub your head sister.
Yeah,
If you're
that'd be
not in
Mary
town.
Clarence.
You / sub Mary Clarence if you're not present, and then it would be probably me / sub Tabitha if I'm not present.
Same. Yeah, I feel you.
So they're not on the council unless we're not on the council.
of course, yeah. So that is and
We trust them enough to make proper decisions.
When we're
in
gone.
keeping.
perfect. Yeah, those are good subs. All right, so that's going to be 5 with the addition of Bart. Who would you like to include with 2 more openings? And there is a handout for the people of
Town
Hadleyburg
page.
if you wanted to, called the Town of Hadleyburg, which will list all of the people if you wanted to reference that.
Well, need to edit this sheet. Dan Fuller's no longer the editor.
Oh, that's
I
right. I
know.
need to create new editor. I keep forgetting about that, and I don't have it in my notes, but now I do.
I know we haven't had a lot of interactions with him, but Dr. Nathaniel would be a good one to have on there.
I don't
Just in-
disagree.
Just in
The-
case there's some medical epidemic, he could have authority to actually do something.
And if he's had known for treating physical and supernatural ailments, then yeah.
He's also somebody who would be educated. He also took his portrait with a cat, so you know he's trustworthy. I just love
Yep,
that
totally.
picture with the cat so much.
And you said you already added Serafina?
Si, senor.
That's my Yep.
Okay, 1,
Yep.
5, 6. So that means there is 1 spot remaining.
look. I don't. The person who I'd like to see on it is not necessarily going to be a popular choice.
That doesn't matter.
So
That adds intrigue. Already you have Moonshadow, and she's going to add that. So you might as well double down.
if I'm going to double down, it's Ruby.
I like that idea because her ladies see and know a lot. They're a good little information hub
Oh yeah.
if they can be utilized for such.
That
Make the rumor mill
is.
work for you.
I didn't expect that.
Look, I'm all about lifting those girls up. Now, I'm also a person, or at least Carter's a person who believes very positively in the notion that horrors have existed since the dawn of time. Better to get a
Oracle's
handle on
profession.
that than, yeah, better to get a handle on that and make sure they can't do any harm as much as make sure that no one can harm them. If they feel they're protected, they're going to have your back. And so I'd rather the Lord be taking care of them the same way that they consider potential legends say that Mary Magdalene was a streetwalker. And I'll say potential, allegedly, there are potential legends that state that that is an avenue, a way to interpret the legends. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying it is an avenue. There are some statements that back it up. There's also statements that absolutely contradict it. So,
have you seen the skit with Key and Peele where Jesus has the lady and she's like washing his feet, and then her pimp shows up? It's like, what
oh
the
God,
hell?
no.
I don't think I have, but I'm intrigued and I'm gonna go watch it after this.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't be hard to
I'll
find.
see if I can track that down. Continue as you
I love-
will. We are getting
Yeah, so-
close to wrapping up. So, for tonight's
Oh,
session, I
toast.
definitely want to get to a point where, like, you guys have everything settled for the town and what they will need in your absence. You're settled with the stuff you're going to bring, and then come daybreak in the morning, you guys can head out, starting the next session back to the village.
Okay, I have a
that
vampire
makes
box
sense.
listed on my thing.
Excellent.
And we can absolutely detail those items. Whatever is in that box, aside from the extra canteen, which will go in there, I'll detail out all of those items in a post later under like the scrawlings of Father Carter or something, or the book of Father Carter, so that we have it in Discord.
Yeah. Also on the item page, if there's a little tiny gear symbol, if you hover over an item, it brings down a detail list.
Oh,
Very
great! And then I
tiny.
can just okay. I'll take a look at that then. Oh, thanks for finding it.
Of course. I love Key and Peele so much. Like, they have a skit that applies to almost anything. Just,
Not
it's
necessarily
just
to add.
conceptually funny before you even see the skit. Like Jesus talking to a pimp at all. It cracks me up.
So not necessarily to add to the list of town heads, because I feel like in the future it would be a conflict of interest and give the marshal a double vote. But Inga would be a good
A liaison of sorts.
a liaison, a wise person to.
Can we list her as consultant?
That's the
So-
word I'm looking for. Consultant.
Where she would come into play, her greatest strength as far as being part of the counselor meetings in some capacity would be Given those who you have chosen, I would say maybe Bart is probably the closest to the common folk, because even Ruby, like, she and her girls will service some of the common folk, but they're definitely a step above because they're classy and know how to read. So like Inga kind of bridges that gap. Like she can speak on behalf of the needs of not just common folk, but like the ranchers, cattle drivers, that sort of thing. Like she's kind of a representative of laborers and such,
Yeah, and not
farmers.
that she would have been trained for it or necessarily schooled for it, but you pick up some stuff just having her father in that position.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She would definitely be familiar with a bit of the law, and because her father was a judge. But yeah, mostly she's going to be trusted by people not only because her father was a judge and a respected person, like believed to be of sound moral quality, but yeah, like I said, she's closer to the need, like because she's a rancher herself, so
Hmm.
she'd be able to come in and be like, okay, well, you fancy educated people with your doctors and your candles and stuff. It's all well and good for you to be thinking about this, but it's going to affect the working man in this way. Please consider that.
That's a weird town council.
It
I
is.
love your town council. I love too, like you have a doctor who'd be an educated man of science, and then Serafina is like the natural remedies kind of solution, very heavy on
Oh,
the
I bet they
supernatural
fucking butt
side.
heads like crazy.
Opposing opinions are a good thing.
Yep.
Oh,
And
random meetings just to watch them fight.
well, and of course, everybody in town is going to have their preferred council person who they would go to. Like, you represent me and my interests, convey this to the council
Hmm.
as much as like you guys do too, like in your own way.
Hmm.
I'm a fan. Alrighty. Well, let me add to that note actually. And let's say 15 grand supplementary grant per month
Yep.
until
The town
all
can
taxes
become
and etc. Yeah,
yeah, until they can implement taxes and make that part of the thing, and then that becomes a nest egg that they can start.
of
Because
course.
it's
Yeah.
hard to get something going from scratch.
Oh, it certainly is. And it's nice too that they don't have to start in debt or indebted to an agency or like a rich
Or a
local baron
business
or
or
something.
anything
Yeah,
like that. And that's why I made sure it was a grant and not a loan, because then they'd
right.
like, well, we're indebted to the church, or at least the father, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
fucking owns the town. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do that. That's not how this works.
Well, the bank would be glad to give out loans and only require
Yep.
deeds to every property in town as collateral. That can't go wrong. Anyway, you've
Yeah.
avoided that,
So
so
I'm literally cutting out as much bullshit as I possibly can.
certainly. All right. So yeah, a couple of fun aspects there. I do believe y'all are ready to embark on your next great quest. Have leveled up. You've got the town in order. Agnito has some stuff to go with as far as his campaign, because he, of course, would be proposing the existence of a council and such.
Yep.
And well prepared to return to the village, provide the artifacts, be magically whisked away to Delaware.
So I didn't call it holy. I put 3 canteens of smite water.
I like
I
it.
called mine. I called mine Holy Bomb.
So, but it's in the party inventory now. Um, I really can't think, because I don't know if silver affects vampires in this game, because I know it does in other games and stuff like that. But that's why I wanted silver crosses on the off chance that it might work.
Of course.
So
So
there,
as far as you can know, like rumors come from some sort of truth or interpretation. So, like I said, the commonly known vampire things like garlic and holy water and silver would be kind of assumed. Like every kid knows that you kill a vampire by staking their heart and that they don't like garlic. Like that's just a thing.
Yeah, so Italian vampires can't be real. That part's a joke.
Oh,
so
yeah.
do we hear back from Ranger HQ or find anything out at the Mystic Sundries?
Well, we got the
You
box of vampire
will
shit
not.
from Centuries.
Yeah. The vampire box definitely provides an angle. What she would want to speak of, you guys have already encountered as far as like, well, mundane things don't work against them. Like you have to do something else, and like easier
But
to
when I
find them
bless
in
them
their
with
tomb
spite,
when
it
they sleep
absolutely
during the
hurts them.
day. Yeah. So she'd be kind of backing that up. There would not be a response returned from HQ prior to your
No,
exit,
and I don't
unfortunately.
imagine the church is, I'm just letting the church know, like, all right, we finally got, we have traction. We're moving forward. By the way, they're Egyptian. Yeah, that's not a typo.
Now, out of game, I'm not implying that there won't be a response or there won't be ripples, but
No, just not yet.
as far as your receipt of hanging on when day breaks, you're like, well, crap. I guess we'll have to head out with what we have.
Yep.
You can give Tabitha a heads up that that message will be incoming if you permit
And I'll
her
do the same for
to
Mary
receive.
Clarence. Like, the diocese is going to reach out when they do, and I'll tell her what you need to put in the message to let them know that you're on the inside. It'll simply be a particular quote from the Bible that references some dark stuff, and that'll let the bishop know she's one of the people on the know.
Perfecto.
Yeah, I'll do a similar thing for Tabitha and tell her to talk to Mary Clarence if and confer with her because she's supposed to be getting some kind of message too.
Nice. They will both feel special being raised up into a secret inner circle of sorts. Not to be confused with the town council. This is
No,
kind of a separate inner circle.
and they're the backup. They're each our backups, so I would rather
Right.
they know who each other are and are a little more intimate and familiar with each other in that regard.
Not just each other, but with what you guys are very specifically up to and have encountered, because that's not going to be
Oh
public
yeah.
knowledge necessarily. So
No.
for them to be caught up and know, they can encourage and sway votes like, well, just in case of this, and I'm not saying it's happening or happened, but if it were to,
Yeah, gotta leave behind somebody who actually knows.
oh yeah. Well, and of course, Agneto is
Oh
fully,
yeah,
fully aware and keeps very detailed notes.
yeah, and invite Agneto to that meeting whenever you have it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially since he might be the mayor.
Yeah.
Well, just as a mad scientist, I like that. Well, I
Still a
think you
crazy
guys
party
have
composition if you think of it.
definitely. What was that? Sorry.
It's still a crazy party composition.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I like it.
Priest, a gunslinging marshal, and a mad scientist that may or may not be senile.
I think it's a fantastic dynamic. You guys have played it well, but not a lot of conflict. Luckily, you guys have been on the same page about stuff and same intentions, goals. So that tension will happen later, but you won't find out about that until you get back home. Insert more evil
Yay?
laughter here.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty then. I do believe y'all are very well prepared and set. I think we can kick off the next session with a bang and see what lies beyond in the dark.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, in that case, I shall bid thee adieu. with thanks for your arrival and participation. I'm excited to
Yep.
see how you guys deal with that which comes in the future.
I'm just glad my roll stopped sucking.
Yeah, right
I
at
have a
the
feeling
end.
we're going to deal with
Good
it
omen.
with holy bullets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the plan.
I did hear you specifically say ammo, so that's good too.
Yep, I'm back up to 50 and 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in here and edit the sheet a little bit before our next game and add down a couple of extra boxes, whatever the people would bear for ammo.
Of course.
Actually, I'm going to up that shotgun because I got the Gatling shotgun now.
Yeah, and do consider like what you're bringing on the wagon as opposed to what you're actually going to physically be able to bring on your trip, because I don't think you'll even be able to bring your horses, but we'll get there. So definitely consider the personal encumbrance versus that which is on your wagon.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to carry that there vampire kit in one hand.
Well, I'm hoping there's a buckles on the side I can strap it and throw it over a shoulder
You're welcome
like a
to
messenger bag.
come up with something fancy like that.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening.
You
I
too.
will see you on the other side. I think we'll next meet for the L5 VAR this Monday.
I believe so. Yeah, have fun
Yeah.
with your, what was it?
Oh, the supers
Uh,
thing tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna do
Supers
session
and
0
sorcery?
character creation stuff. I'm
I'm gonna
excited
write
for
out
it.
all the adventure stuff for L5R tomorrow after I get back from the Ren Fair.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
So it'll be updated. We really didn't do a lot. I saw how. I mean, we did a lot and didn't at the same time.
Oh yeah,
It was a lot of implications and kind of it felt like the build-up episode to shit about to roll downhill kind of thing.
I like that you think of it that way. Because yes, probably.
Everyone's going to want a piece of action, and everyone's going to have a different opinion on the issue.
I am
So
very, very, very